remove all the obstacles from the path of success. So we have Saraswati Banna. So once again, I heartily welcome you all in the second day of this international conference on emerging trends in multidisciplinary research and innovation, jointly organized by Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee University and Research Foundation of India. I bid a warm welcome to all the renowned delegates and international and national speakers who took out their valuable time and joined us today. On that note, let me welcome and introduce our chief guest, international delegates, and speaker of this wonderful conference, our Honorable Professor A.K. Nayak Sir, former President of Computer Society of India, Ms. Daisy M. Galgan Ma'am for Philippines, Dr. Janet G. Viloria Ma'am, also from Philippines, Dr. Neel Madhav Parisel from Orissa, India, and Ashish Gupta Sir from Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee University, Ranchi. Taking our conference further, I, on behalf of everyone present here, heartily welcome the dignity of this international conference, the guest of honor, Professor A.K. Nayak Sir. Professor A.K. Nayak Sir, presently the advisor of IIBM Group of Institution, is the former president of Computer Society of India and former director of Indian Institute of Business Management, Patna. He is having more than 37 years of experience in teaching, training, research and administration in the field of computer science, information technology and management. The former president of ICT section of Indian Science Congress Association and former chairman of Indian Society for Technical Education Bihar and Jharkhand section. Professor Nayak Sir is the fellow of Computer Society of India, International Society for Research and Development, UK, United Writer Association, National Association of Computer Educator and Trainer and Management Studies, and Promotion Institute, New Delhi. Professor Nayak is associated with the academic program of more than 40 universities, including as a member of Board of Studies, Governing Council and school boards of several universities. Organized and participated more than thousands of conference, seminars, workshops, training program and faculty development program of national and international level in physical and virtual mode. Participated as the chief guest of honor, preside over and keynote speaker in more than 100 of universities and institutes of national and international repute. Represented as the expert member in several bodies of Government of India, state government. He had authored 162 papers, 12 books, edited 9 books, 10 proceedings of national and international conference and seminars, received many international national awards, and his biography is published in the 7th International Dictionaries. Professor Nayak has worked as an expert member of CEDTI, Government of India, reviewer of DST project, Government of India, member, Board of Director, DNS Institute of Cooperative Management, Government of India, Zonal Coordinator, National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Expert member, Banking Service Recruitment Board, Bihar, Public Service Commission, Bihar State. Professor Nayak sir has also received many international, national and state level awards, including Dr. Abdul Kalam Gold Medal and 2 Lifetime Achievement Award in 4 months for his unique contribution in the field of information and communication technology. With all those words, I am extremely delighted to call our honorable guest, Dr. Nayak sir, to address this conference and cast the light of his knowledge upon us. Sir, please. I repeat, Professor Nayak sir, have a call or to address this conference. Sir, please.
Assis. Something is technical issues. Please wait.
Nayak sir, please unmute, sir. Please unmute.
Sir, you are muted, sir. Sir, you are muted.
Nayak sir, your mic is actually off. Please unmute, sir.
Oh, now it is audible?
Sir, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Assis, am I audible?
Yes, sir, I'm audible.
I'm audible. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Assis, for giving a very brief and nice introduction about me. I'm indeed very pleased to be the part of this 2 days international virtual conference on a very vital and pertinent theme, that recent trends in research and multidisciplinary research and innovation. Actually, the topic has been chosen in such a nice manner. I must have to congratulate the Research Foundation of India as well as Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee University for having such a nice and very timely and very persistent theme, that is recent trends in multidisciplinary research. Particularly when the government of India is giving much stress on this part and research and innovation, and in the recently tabled national education policy is also having the major thrust on this particular area, that is the multidisciplinary research and innovation. On this auspicious occasion, I must have to thank the authorities of the Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee and the Honorable Vice Chancellor in his absence here, and the Controller of Examination and the Registrar, and Honorable Dr. Sarab Jain Sahib, the Chairman and the Chief Executive Officer of the Research Foundation of India, and Honorable Dr. Ashok Kumar Gupta ji, the CMD of Research Foundation of India, and other organizers of both the organization, Research Foundation of India and Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee University, and particular to my beloved and nearest and dearest one, Professor Rahul, who is a core part of this organizing committee and to whom I always treat as one of my academic sons. Very good morning to each of you, and I also congratulate each of the participants who have joined on this 2 days auspicious international conference for igniting of their knowledge, for igniting of their mind and upgradation of their knowledge and updation of their knowledge, and getting the basic concepts of the multidisciplinary research, and which will definitely providing them the opportunities and idea to find out, to pursue the research in most effective and productive manner. By the 2 days deliberation, 1 day has already been over, and I do presume that a lot of very learned speakers have delivered their talks, and the participants must have got lot of ideas so far as the multidisciplinary research and innovations are concerned, the concept of the research and innovation, and the concept of the multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary concept. And I do take a stanza from Bhagavad Gita. It has been written, Jajjada charati sreshta tattada itare jana sajat praman kurute janaha tadanuvartate. इसका अर्थात, इसका मतलब ये हुआ, जो महत्जन आचरण करते हैं, जो विद्वान लोग बोलते हैं, जो विद्वत लोग आचरण करते हैं, हम आप पर्टिकुलरली हमारा यहाँ कॉन्फ्रेंस में जो लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट कम्युनिटीज आर अवेलेबल एंड यंग रिसर्चर आर अवेलेबल, they must have listened lot of things from the mouth of the great personalities and great speakers. That is why, and they will have to have some conception and perception and to also pursue their further career in that direction. That is why I have told Jajjada charati sreshta tattada itare jana, जो विद्वत जन बोलते हैं, जो महत्जन बोलते हैं, जो महानुभाव बोलते हैं, हम आप इसको अनुसरण करते हैं और उसी को अनुसरण करते हुए कठिन परिश्रम करते हैं, अनुशासन पालन करते हुए हम अपना मंजिल प्राप्त करते हैं, we reach at our destination. So मंजिल दूर हो सकता है, रास्ता कठिन हो सकता है, पथ दुर्गम हो सकता है, लेकिन लक्ष्य अभेद्य होना चाहिए. And that is the requirement, and that is the prerequisite requirement for each and every researcher and for each and every person who wants to employ and apply his mind for getting the innovative ideas. Unless you have the dedication, unless you have the determination, unless you have the devotion, these 3D factors, dedication, determination and devotion, is the key factor of success, and that will take you to reach at your destination and आप मंजिल तक पहुंच सकते हैं. My dear friends, the topic that I have told is very persistent. Multidisciplinary research and innovation, which is the requirement of days. And when our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, is having so much dreams, and to realize, to convert that dream into the action, and to have the dream to make the India as a self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat, and to establish India as the leader of the world community, that to have a Vishwaguru, and that is in that direction, the multidisciplinary research and innovation gives much importance for the Indian youth as well as the Indian technocrats and the Indian researcher in particular, and in the globe in general, there is no doubt. So that is the main fact. And why this is needed, you must have observed and you must have seen the time of the pandemic, when in the March 2020, India erupted with the corona problem and lockdown have been started, and the great pandemic, with the pandemic, this level of pandemic we have got after the century. And you imagine at that time in India, the situation was so grave and so fearful that one could not have imagined. At that time, we did not have anything to address the challenge. We did not have the sufficient amount of kits to address the COVID problem. We did not have the other things, that is the sufficient number of beds at the hospital and everything. But here I do remember a great stanza that has been told by Swami Vivekananda. The necessity is the mother of invention, and every cupboard is discovered. Every cupboard is uncovered when it is discovered. Necessity is the mother of invention, and every cupboard is uncovered when it is discovered. हमारा अंदर में जो अंतर्निहित प्रतिभा है, the inherent quality है, that gets open when we recognize that. That is why Swamiji has told every cover is uncovered when it is discovered. प्रत्येक आच्छादित चीज तब उन्मेलित हो जाता है जब हम इसको आविष्कार कर लेते हैं. So that is the thing that happens, and we became able and capable. Our researcher, our medical practitioner, and our innovator have got the path and got the route and to have develop the things. And within a few months, we became self-sufficient so far as the corona kits are concerned, so far as the sanitizers and other equipment and other things are concerned. And we become one of the leader country in the world also, so far as the product of the vaccination is concerned, and having the indigenous vaccination, and we became able and capable to export all the corona-related commodities to more than 100 countries. And how it happened? It happened due to the effective research and innovation that has been occurred in the minds of the Indian, and particularly the people who have been engaged in the medical and paramedical and pharmaceutical field, and we became able and capable to address the challenges that which have been posed. And in comparison, if you see India, you are the country which have comparatively less affected comparison to the many of the Western and developed countries that they have got. By understanding that temperament of our researcher and innovator, by understanding that capability and credibility of our young technocrat as well as our student community as well as our young researcher community, perhaps Honorable Prime Minister had the confidence to declare and decide so many ambitious projects, whether you tell Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and to be achieved by the three important components that he has undertaken. One is the Digital India, Startup India, and Make Up India. And if you see, all these things are supplemented to one another. One cannot have the existence and successful and effective and productive output without considering the others. So that is the thing. And here is all are supplemented to one to another. And what these things is there. This is also a multidisciplinary concept. That is the integration of a lot of activities for achieving a single goal, achieving a particular goal, and to work in that direction is the multidisciplinary. So that the thing is that. And so far as the research and innovation is concerned, and in what we can turn, research is a systematic process of study, and the outcome of the research is known as the innovation. Research is a systematic process of study, and the outcome of the research is known as the innovation. And sometimes it happens, it's also move at a cyclic manner, and sometimes one can tell and where the research ends, innovation starts, and from where innovation ends, God's in the incepted and research starts. So that is why after innovation research or after research innovation, is very difficult to define. It depends on the different circumstances. That is why I have told both are quite supplementary. And when we get a innovative idea, from that time, what happened? This entrepreneurship starts, because to convert that idea and taking that idea up to the finished product. Taking the idea up to the finished product, here the entrepreneurship starts, and for that reason, what he establishes, that known as the startup. And if you consider all these things in that way, you can see research, innovation, entrepreneurship, startup, and all are quite interlinked. And that is, the fields that might be different, but these multidisciplinary links are always there. That I have told, but whatever the areas of applications are concerned, but besides that, today if you see and look at the research and the researches have been beyond of any particular subject. The days were there when we are making the research, the agricultural scientist was making the research, and only that is on some outcome that to obtain in that agricultural application. But today that is not the concept. The booming of the different technology and emerging development of the different technology from time to time, and what have happened that all compelled us to grow from the isolated research to interdisciplinary research, and again the broadness has come, and from interdisciplinary research to the multidimensional research. That is the multidimensional research that the thing. Because the technological upgradation, the knowledge upgradation have been happening like that manner. People say, talking of this one day, that your data, raw data are deriving the useful for getting the information and using of the information and information, storing of the information, acquisition of the information, termed as the knowledge. And today we are not talking of the data management or information management, we are talking of the knowledge management. And if the knowledge generation and origination is concerned, and knowledges cannot be acquired only by isolated source, and that can be acquired from the acquisition can be made from the different sources, and to achieve the goals and objectives of a singular multiple area that depends on the concern and interdependency of the areas of applications. So that is the concept today, and that is why I have told. And for example, you see, when we talk about interdisciplinary research and a multidisciplinary research, this interdisciplinary research and multidisciplinary research, you can tell the multidisciplinary research might be having some broader aspect compared to interdisciplinary research. And for example, when we are talking of a social research or a social survey was conducted, at that time we do have the interdisciplinary concept, social research. And that time, and a person have involved with the person, involved in the statistical analysis and the statistics, and both helps are required, and both the concepts start to be integrated and to finding out the inferences of the social research. The interdisciplinary researches have been started. But in today's concept to the others, and every one application is going to be used in the other application, and whether it tell, and the things have been quite broader, whether you tell the things might be the environmental study, the science, things might be the engineering study, the things might be the physical sciences study, the social sciences study, and all these study. And even today, when a history, so when a person dealing with the history, and the historical, only deriving the historical development and the inferences. At that time, he had to have some interpretation of the political science as well as the kingdom, and what was the democratic structure, what was the political structure, autocratic structure or democratic structure, what was the social engineering of among the peoples, and all these things have to be considered by a historian today when he's conducting the historical research in the history. Not only that, if you come to the technology and science and technology, what can be taught? And when we talk of the science and technology, you can see simply science may be considered as the source, but technology is the object. Science may be considered as the source, and technology is the object, and science may be considered as a cause, and technology is the effect. So what happened? Science gives the development, but technology applies the same. And what we think, and today, if you consider the technological development, that there is no domination of a single technology for the application which will be useful for the human being. So rather, multiple number of technologies can be integrated together for the benefits of the human being application, and which will be beneficial for the human beings, for the beneficial of the society. Today, electronics is a separate field. But you see the integration of all these things. If you see the ancient area, the electrical engineering, electrical energy got incepted, and after the steam energy, and from electricity, then you come to the electronics. From electronics, you came to the microelectronics, and from microelectronics, today what happened? These have been integrated, these are having the very multidisciplinary application. So far as the electronics is concerned, we are telling electromechanics, we are talking of electrostatistics, we are talking of electromagnetism, we are talking of the electromathematics. Disciplinary concepts are there. So that is the thing. And to come to our particular field, computer science and information technology, for which, though we are having the multidisciplinary research and innovation, and I do think majority of the speaker technology and this similar huge amount of techniques and computing techniques have been developed by the meantime, and now there is not a single technique can dominate the scene and cannot be considered will only suitable for the human application. Rather, it is the integration of multiple technologies. Time of the technology and integration of the technology, and out of the integration of the technology and the application should be developed, which will be very useful for the common man. This multidisciplinary research that we are talking, and IoT is one of the best example of this, and the coming industry 4.0, and this will be definitely, and in India we are going to have the industry 4.0, but in Germany industry 5.0, for which the IoT technology is the backbone, and which is providing the opportunities for communicating one device to another, communication of the devices, and among the devices, one device is these machines will be the smart machine, and the industry will be the smart industry. And you imagine that concept when you're talking of the IoT. IoT is not the dominance of a single technique or a single technology. When you are talking of the IoT, that is the integration, smart computing or the sensor computing is there. And multiple number of technologies have been integrated, and byproduct is the IoT and extended form is the IoE, and which is going to bring the 4.0 is one of the its most important application. Not only that, you see, and all these things which are coming, and all need the multidisciplinary research and innovation to gear up this concept for the betterment of the larger and larger application. Today, we are just dreaming that industry 4.0, we are talking of that by 2025, all devices of the world will be connected to the internet, and by 2030, 500 billion of the devices will be connected to the internet. And what would you imagine? Today, we are talking of the internet of everything, where the machine communicate with the machine and the machine communicate with the man. We started with the classic software that we are using till today. We did not have the classical software. That means we may not need any communication devices for making the communication, and our software developer will be engaged in writing the mental software. And once the mental software will be uploaded in the brain of X and the brain of Y, and X will give wanting to communicate with Y, and there will be signal will be fed in the mind of one another. And this technology will be very much feasible within a couple of years. possible or not possible, but imagine, because due to the integration of the multi-interdisciplinary concept to the power of the computing, once upon a time, when the computer started in 2046 and occupying 1800 square feet area and only 5,000 calculation speed and 18,000 circuit to the electronic bulb. Imagine from second generation to the shape of a jackal, third generation to shape of a fish, and fourth generation to the shape of insect. And you imagine what it took this multidisciplinary concept in the power of computing under this thing. We did have the artificial intelligence 1946, voice synthesis, image processing, internet and this then the interfacing of all medium of communication known as multimedia communication, ICT concept came, and what happened? IoT environment we are considered of the 2020, 28 billions of the devices have been interconnected for communication purposes. The memory they are capturing. And imagine what is the capacity of 44 zettabyte of memory, which can be able and capable 0.9 billions of the population of the world. And that amount, and imagine to have the consideration, the calculation in tera instruction per se, time to time, and changes have been so frequent. And even in this computer science and information technology, we never denote the changes as the change. Rather, the changes are so persistent, so continuous. And we can, there have been the changes in every subject, there have been the researches happening, ultimately, botany, zoology, or engineering. But in no subject, whatever the advancement might have happened, but the definition has not been in the information technology, our concern, our subject, for 20 years back, what definition we are giving for a mainframe computer. Today, a small mobile device is million times powerful than that mainframe computer. That means today that definition cannot hold true for the mainframe computer. The definition have been changed. This is the computer science and information technology. In mathematics, lot of advancement might have done, but one right angle remain 90 degrees forever. For me, for my children, for their children, and for their children. This is the things that is happening. And today, what we tell, the power of this computing and has been so much, and the integration of this thing. Today, computer science and information technology is not being considered as one of the isolated subjects. Rather, it is an integrated subject. It is not, it is just like as the oxygen is needed for a human being, and the existence and the occurrence and the working of every branch of technology, every branch of science, and every walk of life depends on the computing and informatics and the power of the computing and informatics. Whatever the field you can imagine, and every walk of the life and every field of the life is now very much impacted by the use and effect of the computing and computer science and information technology. That is why we can tell it is oxygen for all the subjects, for all the trades, for all the technologies and sciences, that is the computer science and information technology. And what happened, that whether you can tell whatever the field might be, and we will be moving in that direction, and that is why keeping all the views, this new education policy 2020 has been perhaps framed out, because to make the major and lion utilization of this technology in the various aspects, whether it is the educational methodology delivery is concerned, whether it is the educational management and administration is concerned, whether it is the classroom is concerned, everybody must have realized this, the concept that the application of this. When pandemic started, everything became closed down. And the world was having 4.4 billion of the learners and learners who are depending on the learning and teaching method. And 71% of the learners got their education through this online education. And this has enhanced our capacity building in the globe and in India particular. Even a history teacher, a political science teacher, a chemistry teacher, a Urdu teacher has got the capability for the effective use of the tools and techniques of information technology for disseminating the knowledge to their students. But this is the main everything. And this education, now this new education policy 2020, 40% of the weightage will be given to the new education 4.0 online education. The consideration of virtual laboratory, the consideration of virtual classroom, the consideration of virtual university. As an example of this, in this budget also, Government of India has kept the provision of establishment of one digital university. And what you did to make these projects successful, we need the multidisciplinary research. when we are talking of the virtual university, virtual laboratory, we'll be needing multiple technology to be used, virtual reality, IoT technologies, communication technology, lot of technologies have to be required there so that we can be making able and capable to convert the energy into the power, to convert the energy into the matter. So what will happen? In a virtual lab and virtual classroom, the practicals will be conducted in virtual manner, and teacher will be in front of you to talk with like that. And what was happening in the era of the Treta and Dwapar, when Ravan was playing Lord Shiva, and Shiva became pleased and coming in front of him and talking with him and interacting with him, discussing with him. That is why I have told. Now our information communication technology became so capable, it will be also doing in the same matter to convert the energy into the matter. That means though the real person will not come before us, but his image will be standing before us, and by the power of the voice synthesis, he will be able to talk, power of the image processing, he will be able to see, and all these things will happen. And whatever the things we are talking, so all depends on the multiplayer research. But besides that, for the making a very empowered India and Atmanirbhar India, this education 2000, new education NEP 2020, where a lot of things have been incorporated, and because to take and drive the country towards a self-reliant India, Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat, and making the harnessing of and interfacing of all the three ambitious projects that has been launched by our honorable and beloved Prime Minister, that Narendra Modi, the Make in India, Startup India, and Digital India. And what that thing, that the thing is that the states have been given, we'll have to develop our products, we'll have to develop our students, and that is the and one of the features in that multidisciplinary research, and how this ICT will be driven and ICT will be implemented to for the upgradation of the lifestyles of the farmers and their workings, and how we can have the agriculture that will be the smart agriculture, the concept of the smart agriculture, and that is the main thing, and precision agriculture, and for that the research and innovation should be carried out by the university, and that is under the framework of the NEP National Education Policy 2020. And another thing, healthcare field will be boosted, because that is one of the major application field where the multidisciplinary research is required. Everybody is known now the healthcare, and another thing what I am telling, that in this fourth generation industrial revolution, one of the major thing is that will be the integration of all the three levels of the devices. And the thing that when we talk of the industry 1.0, at that time we are utilizing the steam energy for enhancing the productivity and the efficiency. Industry 2.0, we use the electrical energy for efficiency, productivity, and profitability. Industry 3.0, we have used the ICT application in back offices, as well as we have some numerically controlled machine, and that is Industry 3.0 for enhancement of the productivity, efficiency. But in the Industry 4.0, there will be a complete fusion of the digital devices, physical devices, digital devices, and biomedical devices. All these things will happen. There will be a tremendous change, development has been already happened. Now all the surgeries have also the ICT-based surgeries and all these things. A lot of new things will be also developed, so that there will be a tremendous change in the medical sector and the health sector and health information, and we'll have to disseminate the health services, we will have to spread the health services throughout the country. The country is possessing 1.39 billion of the population. The country is having 69% of the population living in the rural area, 31% of the people living in the urban area. The country is having 739 districts, and the country is having 5,500 cities, mega cities and small cities. The country is having 25,000 crores of the family, and the country is having 250,000 gram panchayats and 660,000 villages. The country is having the 3,500 caste and creeds and community, and the country is having 9 religions, and the country is being spoken by 882 languages. This is the big challenge before us, and it is only multidisciplinary research which can address these challenges and to drive the ICT technology to take the doorstep of the mankind, human and the citizen, and they will be realizing the benefit of the ICT, and the door-to-door and the door-to-door services can be provided to them. Imagine the language I have told and the dream of this digital India, that to make every citizen digitally empowered by digitally empowered. That is the dream, that is the third objective of the digital India. But it's not so simple. The country is having, there's a bigger digital gap. What to do digital literacy, even if the general literacy, we did not have the 100% achievement till today. But one of the fortunate matter that if you keep a target of 100, you can achieve 50. Due to the ambitious project of Honorable Prime Minister, we are achieving 250,000 Gram Panchayat has already been connected with the internet connectivity, broadband connectivity through the common service, community centers, service center, and 1 lakh plus villages have been interconnected with the broadband communication. And time is not so far when 6,60,000 villages will be connected with the internet connectivity. So definitely in this case, and this multiple and interdisciplinary research will be empowering the power of the computing, and so that the ICT can be fully utilized to fulfill the desire of the common citizens who will be coming at the coming at the effect of the e-governance project. That is the things. That is the things. And another thing what happened, that healthcare. I have told the healthcare, the country, the telemedicine facility will be enabled to each and every people of the country. That can be only driven only when this ICT will be completely applied to catering the telemedicine facilities to at every remotest corner of the country. So these are the things, and it is being tried how the ICT can be used in every domain of the application. That is also another perspective of NEP 4.0 2020. In that concept, so we'll have to prepare the student community, youth community in that research area, and multidisciplinary approach, credit transfer approach, and credit bank approach all are been there. And that is the reason the National Education Point 2020, the educational institution will be categorized into 3 categories. One category will be exclusively research-oriented university, research universities, who will be devoting the time for the multidisciplinary researches. And another is the research and education mixed here. They will be imparting the courses as well as the researches. And third category will be the autonomous degree granting institution and all these things. This NEP is giving much stress on the multidisciplinary research. So GIS, Geographical Information System, as well as the remote sensing application, and the environmental development, and all the climate change, and all everything, they will have to prepare our manpower, and accordingly the researches should be conducted, and the universities are being encouraged to have the researches, particularly the exclusive establishment will be the research university. Even if for encouraging the multidisciplinary research, the special education zone will be set up, and it out of 739 districts, in which district these kinds of facilities are not there, Government of India is going to establish the University of Excellence for carrying out the multidisciplinary research and all these things that I have told. Industry 4.0, education 4.0, and all are requiring the interdisciplinary research, there is no doubt. And even if the literature study, the government is giving much importance. The one thing is that the basic purpose of India, and India is going to establish as the Vishwaguru, but we not only want to develop a technologically upgraded, and we don't want to only need to be a superpower so far as the ICT technology is concerned, information and communication technology is concerned, not only in the electronic manufacturing is concerned, but side by side, we cannot forget our culture and ethics. That is why in the new education policy, lot of importance has been given for that region also. The Indian Institute of literature training institute will be also established, and the different cultural aspects will be also mentioned, and the language researches will be there, and there will be the integration and multidisciplinary researches so far as the languages are concerned, Sanskrit, Pali, Parsi, all these languages that has been also kept under the framework and domain of the new education policy. So, my dear friends, if the days are coming, and days are coming with the multidisciplinary research concept, and what are the leading area, particularly in the ICT that I foresee that will be dominating this decade, that one is the security analysis, because the security, as much as the computing applications will be there, security will be a big threat, because if a technology is shared by 5%, if a technology is shared by 100%, the security threat is more for the 100%, where the 100% are using the technology. So security analysis, application interface, the interface, that is another emerging area where we will have to do a lot of things. And the third is industry 4.0, education 4.0, wearable technology. That is one of the important area where the embedded technology will be coming into the great application. Embedded technology with communication technology, and that will be with our wearable commodities. Our shoe will be the smart shoe, watch will be the smart watch, dress will be the smart watch. These kinds of things for achieving the goal, we need also interdisciplinary discipline, and big data analytics, and business intelligence, and these are also the things where under robotics technology where we will have to go ahead. Besides that, what the emerging thing is coming, like as I have told, from classical computer software to mental software, similarly for classical computing to the quantum computing. Quantum computing project has already been success in the research, so far as research and development is concerned, but the commercial viability is the only required to be done. Once it is commercially viable and quantum computer will be launched and quantum computer will be used, perhaps after launching of the quantum computer, the quantum PC, one quantum PC will be getting the capability to replace 2 to the n number of the general PC, and imagine what is the tremendous volume of storage, the tremendous volume of calculation capability that will be coming in the quantum computing. Perhaps by utilization of the quantum computing, the security threat and this threat and privacy threat will be minimized, because we may not need much cloud environment after working with the quantum computing, because the thing is this cloud environment, the collaborative computing environment will be least requirement will be less because of the huge capability of the quantum computing. Besides that, we'll be also moving towards the genetics engineering, which is one of the genome engineering, is one of the important area where the multidisciplinary researches are being conducted, genetic science, as well as the information technology and other related science are being happened. And this is coming to such a stage, perhaps within a couple of years, we can have a baby as per our desire, and genes will be getting manipulated, all these things happening. And genetic surgery is also one part of that. And another thing, that the emotional intelligence, one day people were telling computer is a very good slave but a very bad master. बहुत अच्छा नौकर का काम करता है लेकिन अच्छा मास्टर का काम नहीं करता. But time came, computer became a master, virtual artificial master. It got the artificial intelligence, so that computer got able to think. It got voice synthesis. Computer became able to talk. It got image processing. Computer able to see. Again, it has got the internet capability for huge communication and dissemination of the things. It got the multimedia capability. All the medium of communication interfaced together with a computer. By the virtue of that became the ICT concept claim. But the data, the form of information structure and nature got to give. That previously we are working with the organized data. Then when the textual data, then the picture, sounds, everything got collected in the form of data. Then we have the structured and unstructured data. That is why I come to the big data. If you see the history, in 60 we have started with isolated data with the scientific computing. 70 we have started with the commercial application with the business computing and file management system. 80 we have the database management system. 90 we are having the relational database management system. 2000 we are having the data mining concept. 2005 data warehousing concept. 2010 big data concept, and the data science concept is there. So these are the technological upgrades what happened, and as much as the technological upgrades is being there, upward mobility is going towards the research and innovation. and the things getting the multidisciplinary in nature. All the things are definitely the things in there. My dear friends, the future is very bright so far as the interdisciplinary research is concerned, and definitely will be the domain of the interdisciplinary research will be enhanced from day to day, and there will be not a single part of the work of the life, there is not a single application which will be directly or indirectly not impacted by the huge capability of the informatics and computing. So that is why I told this technology is being considered as the oxygen of each and every technology, and this will have the application as a center point for all kinds of researches and all kinds of innovation will be carrying on, whatever the field might be, whatever the area of application might be, everywhere it will be having the dominance. And definitely, and the thing is that, and its applicability definitely make a great change, and what has never been happened till today, even if after the 75 years of the independence, we could not be achieved to provide the general literacy to each and every citizen of the country. But in India, when we term as the general literacy, it means simply the signature. We could not be able to make our people who can make their signature till today. But definitely, I presume within 5 years to 10 years, within this decade, this ICT technology will be so much viable, and it will be coming with so versatility and so user-friendly manner, and the broadband connectivity will be happen to remotest place of the country. Definitely, we may not be able to make the people general literate, but able to make the people digitally literate, which have been the third objective of the Digital India. When I am talking of the digitally literate, I am not telling that every person will be working with a computer to write the programming, but digital literate, matlab one person should have the knowledge, at least that volume of knowledge for which kinds of job which is related to him, the ICT technology will be beneficial. A farmer we can tell is the ICT literate, a farmer we can digital literate, if you have the idea how this weather forecasting is coming to his help, how he can be able to get the seed management as well the marketing of the commodities through the internet. If that level of knowledge is with him, then he is a ICT literate, he is a digital literate. And I do believe definitely this and the multifaceted concept of the interdisciplinary research and multidisciplinary research will able and capable to drive the society, not only the Indian society, but the whole world community in such a manner. And that is not only that what has been told, that the complete globe has been derived into a single village. Not only that, but it will work in more extensively to build the concept of what has been mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, aham nijo parveti swabhava lagute tasang udara chetasang cha vasudhaiva kutumbakam. And this, they take a multidisciplinary research through the ICT will definitely fulfill this endeavor, so that there will be no disparity so far as the information and knowledge dissemination is concerned throughout the globe and throughout the mankind and for the man purpose. But whatever the things might be on this August forum, I must have to request each and everybody who had been connected with this international virtual conference on the multidisciplinary research and innovation, and bring your research and innovation in such a manner which should be coming for the ultimate benefit of the mankind, but not making a single percentage of the destruction of the mankind, and apply it in such a manner so that it should satisfy the great concept of Bhagavad Gita, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Ma Kaschit. Thank you very much. Namaskar to everybody. Thank you, Research Foundation of India. Thank you, Sama Prasad Mukherjee University, for giving me this opportunity, at least to keep to present my idea, my view before you all the August 20, and bless all the participants who are gathered here, and pray to the God. May God bless each of you to pick up the daffodils from the paradise of your future professional career. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much to hear your wise words. It's our great pleasure, sir, to hear you. So again, thank you, sir. Now, without consuming our time, now I invite my friend Ashish Pathak to further proceed and accompany this screen. Ashish Pathak, please.
Thank you so much, Sasi. And a delighted morning to everyone to the second day of this event. I am Ashish Kumar Pathak from Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee University here with us. I welcome Ms. Daisy M. Galgana ma'am from Philippines, who is a teacher by profession. She graduated Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English and completed her Masters of Arts in Education major in Administration and Supervision, and also in teaching English, taking a Doctor of Philosophy major in Educational Management. Coming to some of the great achievements, she is a holder of Diploma on Professional Development and Management and a consistent awardee as Outstanding Teacher of the Year, with Excellence Award as Senior High School Teacher awarded by LEAD Philippines. Also, the Asian Head of IDYM Foundation. Excellent Award for Education awarded by Sutra Event and AB News. Presently, she is a VIP member of Leadership in Education Academy and Development Philippines and a Peace Ambassador of Philippines awarded by Moyur Ponghi Foundation and a professional member and resource speaker of Global Institute of Professional IGP Bangladesh. Ma'am, please enlighten us with your wise words.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Am I heard? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes. So, of course, good morning to all my Indian friends. Namaste, and a pleasant afternoon, everyone from the Philippines. Okay, so I am very grateful, actually, and very happy to be invited on this international conference. I think this was started yesterday, and indeed, no, a very wonderful message coming from Dr. Nayak, no, and it has something to do with my talk today. Indeed, this is a very timely and very beneficial conference for all of us, no, for all of us educators, because we are learning from each other. My name is Daisy Galgan, and I'm from the Philippines. Today, I would like to share with you some of the significant trends in teaching research. Okay, so according to Dr. Nayak a while ago, we are now experiencing the booming of technology. No, everybody is using technology. Even little children knows how to use gadgets and everything. No, and we can consider we are now on the digital era. Okay, so I will share with you some of the significant trends in teaching research in connection to our theme, emerging trends in multidisciplinary research and innovations. Okay, allow me to share my screen.
Yes, ma'am, you are allowed. You can share.
Okay, so as you can see on my slide, the trends in teaching research. Okay, so in the context of debate about the what works and why, there is a wide range of benefits, no, to researching your own practice, whether directly feeding into improvement through action or research, or more broadly gaining understanding and knowledge on themes of interest and relevance. This is why research is embedded into initial teacher education, as you can gain a range of benefits. Okay, so we can probably say that research is indeed very helpful for everybody. So in this particular presentation, I have here the overview of research collaboration, including scaffolding and web strategies in research. And of course, this is very popular nowadays because a lot of people are stealing the intellectual property of others. Okay, and this is detecting plagiarism. Okay, so we can say that research is actually a stigma, easy and compliance, no? And everybody knows that through research you can help find solutions to particular problems arising in your classroom or in school, underpinning professional learning of knowledge, skills, and understandings that connect you with sources of information and networks of professional support. And it can also clarify purposes, processes, and priorities when you are about to introduce change, no? So it can also improve understanding of our professional policy context. So organizationally, locally and internationally, we are enabled to teach and lead more strategically and effectively, develop our agency, influence, self-efficacy of our own department, our own school, and more widely within our profession. That is why this is how research is very significant. And each of these can involve a lot of investigation using our evidences from your own setting along with your research evidence. Okay, that is why it should start from us, and let us inculcate, no? Let us inculcate in the minds of our students the beauty of research and teach them the basic yet significant in the field of research now that we are in the digital era. Okay, so take a look at this one, no? So you see, every day when we wake up in the morning, okay, we can actually imagine things that we want to solve, problems that we can face, no? As you can see on my slide, I was just rubbing sticks together for fun. I did not realize I was already doing basic research. Okay, this is what we can inculcate in the minds of our students, that whenever they like, for example, when they wake up in the morning and they are having some problems or difficulties, that is already research that can be solved in a day. Okay, and research is something that is every day is being done by us without knowing that we are actually doing the basic research, because research is an analytical study of data, no, to create paths for generating new questions. We have a lot of questions in our minds. Okay, we have a lot of questions that are really we wanted to answer, or we wanted to have solutions to these problems that we are encountering. And basically, we are doing research, and we can find out and investigate and do something to solve that particular thing, because everybody knows that research is an experimental, or an experiment conducted for what? Discovering new facts, discovering new revisions of theories. Okay, so of course, when we talk about research, it's very different because generations differ. So we have here the traditionalists, we have baby boomers. We are different with one another, but of course, research is defined as expansion of past work in a particular field. No, it is actually viewed differently among generations, and a lot of researchers show that millennials, okay, our millennials students, they have created new ways to bring about real changes, okay, real changes in the society over the last few years. Okay, so where are we in this particular generation? Okay, and it depends on how we figure out when we do our own research. Okay, so when we since we are handling this particular people, millennials, they are actually multitaskers, connected, technology savvy. No, they are work balanced and flexible, and they know how to collaborate. That is why the talk of Dr. Nayak, we can integrate, Okay, most probably we can integrate ICT, at the same time teach them all the facts about on how to digitally and connect with one another and also connect with the different applications that we can use now that we are internet ready. And of course, we should anticipate that a lot of young people will continue to drive even for a greater change. Okay, and these are our millennials. Now, according to Mark Prensky, it is very likely that our students, their brain, they have physically changed already, and they are different from ours as a result of how they grew up. That is why they have a lot of visions in their minds. Okay, it's just about our responsibility as educators to educate them, to enlighten them, and to give them the task wherein they will use their bright ideas. Okay. And one more thing, our students right now, they are considered 21st century skill students, and we are having this, they are already into 4 C's. Okay, they have this critical thinking because they know how to discover things, they know how to reason out, and they know how to solve problems, and they communicate well. Okay, communication is very effective, and especially that we educators, we know how to communicate with them and engage them in a very in-depth conversation. This our millennials, our students, we can help them communicate in diverse environments as well, and they even know how to collaborate. They have this leadership initiative, cooperation. They are very flexible, responsible, and they are very productive. Okay, so we must not lose hope on our students, because we should give them something that they can do in order to enlighten, enlighten not just their own self, but also for us, and because we can consider that this our students are very creative as well. We can even learn from them. They have these ideas, the refinement and openness and courage to explore their ideas. It's in them already. It's just we need to involve them, and we need to support them technically, and of course give them a lot of information and guide them as well, because as we can see, our students, we are responsible for them. And according to Charles Darwin, okay, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. And who can survive? Okay, it is the one that is most adaptable to change. Okay, we need to drive our students in order for them to be adaptable to change. Okay, now that we are now on a face-to-face our education now in the Philippines, we've started our face-to-face class, limited face-to-face class. So, some students, they do not want to attend the school right now because they are used in online classes. They are just at the comfort of their home. But of course, we are really striving so hard to help our students to go back to school, okay, and to experience once again face-to-face classes. Okay, so this is the difference between quantitative and qualitative research, which was already discussed to our students. And what I want to give emphasis on this is the pictures that you can see. Okay, this is a very rich picture that we can see, actually, that we can already we already know what is this. So based from what you are seeing right now is a matter of one word, and this is what. Okay, this is actually brainstorming and collaboration. I heard Dr. Nayak a while ago mentioning about collaboration. Yes, okay, indeed, we are now in the digital age. So collaboration is very much needed, no? And if this ICT, they are also responsible for training us, for giving us the latest trends in using the computer and different applications, so that we can also use them and help our students as well to gain knowledge and give them and pass the knowledge as well to our students. Okay, and as you can see, this is what you call collaborative research and a multidisciplinary research and innovations. This is to work jointly with others together, especially in an intellectual endeavor. What we are doing right now is that we are already collaborating. Actually, we can have research on what we are doing right now. Why do we have to do this kind of international conference? Okay, we are together in one very beneficial work. Okay, we are striving hard in order for us to learn from each other, different countries, but with one goal, with one common goal in our minds. This is to strengthen us, no, and to be able to give us all the knowledge that we can have. Why? Because we can teach our students if we can learn something from all of us, no, from the ideas from different people here, different countries. Okay, this is what you call collaborative research. And when you say collaborative research, okay, this is also participatory. It can be defined as researchers working together, what? Well, as I have said a while ago, to achieve the common goal of producing new scientific knowledge. Okay, two heads are better than one, so this is a very good scenario, no, of doing something for our education in India or even in the Philippines, because we are responsible educators. That is why we are doing this, for a change and to help each other in order to achieve the common goal. And this is to produce knowledge, scientific knowledge, which we can relate to our students. Okay, so aside from collaboration, we can also have the research paper scaffolding, which is also very known to everybody, no, because it provides a temporary linguistic tool. This is to assist our students in order to organize their writing capabilities. Okay, so we can do a lot of things through the use of internet, no, and of course we can be able to assist our students in order for them to perform well, okay, and to obtain support from us as teachers. Okay, this is what collaboration means, and at the same time, this is what Dr. Nalik is talking about a while ago, no. We can do a lot through the use of internet, okay, but we need to tell our students that there are also some disadvantages, okay, and a lot of advantages. Okay, so we need still to guide our students when they are having this using applications and using the internet. Okay, we must be very careful in informing them what to read and not what to read, what website to dig in or not, no. So there are different web strategies in research. Okay, they can use web searching skills, no. They can also evaluate first the use of internet, and then try to read, okay, the skills that is capable for everybody. Okay, the Google is this is very known to everybody and very popular. No, we use Google a lot, but mind you, we need to teach our students what to get and what not to get from Google. Okay, and I'm sure most of us educators, we know what to do when it comes to copy paste and plagiarism and so on. Okay, because this is really and we can do a lot of things in the internet. We can get a lot of things too. Okay, So we need to take good care of this. When it comes to web searching skills, let us teach our students, of course, the use of the search engines. No, if they are looking for something, they can use definitely web searching skills. No, they can use blogs or social media. They can use hashtags in looking for something, and they can compose single word or multi search or multiple search, or even the whole question they can write. And of course, even when they are searching for something. Okay. And one more thing. Okay, this is very popular in the Philippines because we are always telling our students, okay, you have to think before you click. Okay, because a lot of fake news, no, and even websites that are not for our students. So we need also to educate them, okay, to think before they click. Because as you can see, technically our students, they can use the internet well, okay, but let us always remind them of the fake news, of the fake website, okay, and this is really some things that we can do, and we must be responsible for this as educators. Okay, and even this one, no, the Wikipedia, which is considered the free encyclopedia. Okay, so I do not advise my students to use Wikipedia for some reasons. Okay, so in order for them to know if these web skills are reliable, no, they need to read, they need to scan. Okay, they need to use proper links in order for them to get what they want. Okay, because a lot of students, when you ask your students to do something, what will they do? They will just copy everything in the internet, and then they will just give it to you. Okay, and then as you can see on my slide, what do you mean that my facts are wrong? I just copied everything straight off the internet. You see, because they do not know that some of the details, articles, or anything in the internet, they are not that true or correct. Okay, so we need to help them on how to search properly when they are making their research work. Okay, and this is indeed very important, no, for everybody. Okay, and in web reading skills, we need to know the 3 W's. Okay, who is the author of this website, no, and then what intentions does this website have, or why is it made? Okay, and then which kind of illustration, pictures are you going to get or obtain from this website? Okay, so we just have to be very careful on this in order for us to get what we really want. Okay, so these are just some of the reasons why we do not advise the use of Wikipedia, because this can be edited by anybody. No, so we are not sure if what we are searching is true or not. Okay, and then of course, this is when it comes to getting something from the internet. Let us remind, okay, we even us ourselves, no, thou shall not steal. Okay, this is not taking things or what, no, or whatsoever, but what we are talking about here is the intellectual property of others. Sometimes, no, we cannot help ourselves but to search for something, and then some of our students, they just get anything on what they see in the internet. Let us remind them this particular phrase, thou shall not steal. Okay, let us not get what is not ours. Okay, because others, they've done their work and have had a hard time doing their research work, no, so let us not steal their intellectual property. We can quote them, no, if we want to use their work, maybe we can ask permission, or maybe we can quote and quote, no, this is from the author, blah blah blah. So we just have to educate our students regarding this scenario. Thou shall not steal. Okay, so you know, and we know if you plagiarize or not. Okay, you can ask yourself, okay, did I plagiarize? That sometimes we are asked to do something, we are asked to do a research work, no, and then you really wanted to finish it, okay, and then you just have to use the internet and use all the resources and information that you can get from the internet, but you have to ask yourselves, okay, as teachers, as educators, okay, did I plagiarize? Okay, so you see, plagiarism is very common nowadays because of the use of the internet. We can have different plagiarism, just like what we are talking about now, the direct plagiarism. When we say direct plagiarism, this is a word for word transcription, no? Getting someone else's work without any quotation marks, without any attribution. This is direct plagiarism, and this is actually what? A sin wherein you are getting, okay, what is not yours. All right? And of course, we also have self-plagiarism. What is self-plagiarism? Now, sometimes we need also to keep this in mind. Self-plagiarism occurs when you submit something, like for example, your student submit his or her own previous work and then mix again with the other work, and then without asking from other professors involved in the different subjects. This is self-plagiarism. You are getting a lot from all your work and then submit it again to another professor. That is self-plagiarism. Okay, and then this one also very popular, the mosaic plagiarism, when a student borrow phrases, no, from a source without using quotation marks, okay, or without getting the meaning of the original one, just getting the word. That is mosaic plagiarism. Okay, I know that most of you teachers or most of you educators, professors, you know all these things. These are very basic, but we need to keep an eye on this because we are responsible in teaching and guiding our students. Okay, because soon they will also make their own practices, best practices in research. At least, no, we were able to give them the proper orientation in making research. Another one is accidental. How can you say that this is an accidental plagiarism? Okay, it occurs when you neglect, okay, most probably you neglect, okay, to cite the sources, okay, or misquote the sources unintentionally. Okay, so that is basically accidental plagiarism. So let us avoid all these things. Let us avoid doing plagiarisms, no? And we should be a role model to our students, okay? Because if we do that, okay, our students will also do that. Okay, so remember, copying without permission is what? Stealing. And thou shalt not steal, according to the Bible. Okay, so we must not be getting the intellectual property of others. Okay, so we can have detector sites, as you can see. No, maybe we can consult some of the online plagiarism detector in checking the work of our students. And of course, we can help them, give them tips on how to research and filter information in order to get what is really the best, no, and very fast in getting some of information in their research. Okay, you see that we can have the topics, the methodologies, okay, different data, and at the same time we can they can also use sources aside from using the internet. They can use printed materials as well, books, no, and making their work, journals, interviews, and even blogs and vlogs, and then websites. All right, so note taking as well, no, bookmarking sites, these are very helpful. And really our students and all of us, okay, we are now in the age of digital age, and in this age of information, okay, ignorance is a choice. Okay, I hope everybody knows what I mean. We have everything in the internet. We can get a lot of things in the internet. Okay, so it's up to you if you will be ignorant or what, no? So but I am telling you that in the age of information, we are now in the age of information, ignorance is indeed a choice. Okay, so if we really wanted a greater change, okay, a greater change, let us stay away from this, no, being ignorant, because we can have everything. Yeah, we can read a lot, no. We just have to be very patient and very productive in helping ourselves to get what we supposed to get as educators, no. Let us feed our minds and be passionate in our endeavors in teaching our students. So let us not be ignorant on everything. Don't be an ignorant person. Let us stay away from this people, because in this digital age, it would be a real pity if you don't try to make the best out of it. Okay, because everything is already given to us. We are booming in technology, according to Dr. Naik. No, we can get a lot of from this. So let us try to help ourselves and be productive, very passionate and dedicated to our work. With so much information available to us, no, at all times it's available. There is really no limit, no, to how much we can to how much you can grow as an individual in this age of information and digital era. Okay, so let us use this information for good. Okay, and make the right choice. Okay, make the right choice and teach our student well in having their research and making their research, and let us guide them thoroughly, and let us try to inculcate in their minds the change that they can really do in collaborating and making the best, okay, for themselves through research. Okay, so I guess that's all. I hope that it is very timely for everybody, that research is really very important, very significant, no, for us, because we want change, we want solutions, we want something new in this digital era. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
very
ma'am,
much.
for
Thank you
your
so much.
great time and your great informative presentation. Now, here we have a great personality, Dr. Janet G. Viloria, ma'am, from Philippines. She is a graduate of Doctor of Education in Educational Leadership at National Teachers College, Manila. She took her Masters of Education in Educational Management and Administration at San Francis SEC College. She had completed her academic subject for Master of Education specializing English language teaching at Philippine Normal University. She is recognized in search and research, school management and operations, strategic planning and professional development activities, and the others. She was an associate editor of The Fortress, the Dib Baku City newsletter, and has contributed articles to TNIG publication. The newsletter of Department of Education, Region 4A, Kala Bazon. She is currently designated as the Senior Education Program Specialist in Planning and Research in the City School Division of Bakur. She is one of the greatest in Fifth Basis Education Research Fund, BREF, of the Department of Education. Her research experiences are from the school level up to the international research conferences. She had presented in Research O'Clock in the regional level. She had led numerous professional activities and has a lot of speaking engagement in the field of research, continuous improvement programs, school-based management, development, and strategic plans. Now, with a great excitement, I would like to invite Ms. Janet ma'am to address this conference further.
Thank you so much, Sir Ashish.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction. And also thank you, Sir Dr. Ajay Jain, for inviting me for the second time. And also I would like to thank the Research Foundation of India for this opportunity, and to all the people here. Good afternoon, everyone. I was so happy seeing my co-Filipina, Ma'am Daisy Calgana, also a teacher here. So it gives me somehow more confidence in presenting now. Okay, is Sir Dr. Ajin, is my presentation visible? Wait. Loading. Okay. Okay, good afternoon, good morning in India, good afternoon in the Philippines. My topic is all about the lifelong learning trend. So this morning, Ma'am Daisy shared about the teaching trends, and now I will be tackling about the learning trends. So I'm Ma'am Janet from the Philippines. I am a program specialist in planning and research, especially in planning in school setting and Department of Education setting, and also a research specialist. Yesterday attended the seminar, and today attended again the seminar. So we're so lucky hearing from those speakers who discuss about research. But this time around, I won't be discussing any more about that, but I will be discussing on the outputs or the learning or the outputs or the product of research. This is learning. Research is a product of learning process. It's a product of learning output. So lifelong learning, that means that as life never stops teaching us. So therefore, from the day that we know how to learn, and till the day that we will be stopping to learn, this is always a lifelong learning. Okay. Dr. Ajing, is my voice audible? You can see my presentation. Just wait. Okay, just wait. I will stop share. I will share again. My internet is not so good. Mm, Dr. Jay, can you please help me in presenting my PowerPoint presentation?
Ma'am, will you send in WhatsApp group your presentations so that we can proceed here?
Yeah, please help me. I will send to you. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
My internet is not so good. Yeah, I already sent to you, Sir Ajay. Yeah. Have you seen it? Okay.
Please wait a minute.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I think there is something technical glitch, and we should wait for some time. Ma'am will join soon.
Janadu, are you there?
अजय सर, जेनेट मैम नहीं है. Sir, please present the PPT, sir. Ajay sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon once again. Sorry, because my internet is really poor. So thank you, Sir Ajay, for this, for please present my PowerPoint presentation. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Now your paper is.
Janet, ma'am, please continue.
Okay, so thank you, thank you. Please have yung presenter's view. Okay.
Rahul sir, it's visible.
Yes.
No, sir. Sir, can you send in the my WhatsApp, sir, so that I can. Yeah.
I sent you.
Okay, sir. Please.
Ma'am Daisy, I sent to
Hi,
you. Oo.
I connected you.
Dr. Ajay, maybe Ma'am Daisy can help me.
Yes.
Thank you, please. It's hot in the Philippines and the internet connection is affected. Nice meeting you, Ma'am Daisy. Hmm. Dr. Rajo is presenting. Thank you so much, Doctor. Okay, as I have told you, I have a very positive learning I have a very positive attitude towards learning. And I will continue to learn and learn and share my learnings. That's why I'm here with you. I hope I can give you somehow, give you a good impact in how we are going to uh, uh, embrace learning and to share that with other people. Okay, next. Okay, we can see there that as at the early stages, child can learn. So that is a very crucial foundation of a child. A brainy child is exposed to lots of learning experiences, to lots of learning materials. So therefore, since childhood is a learning foundation, a child should be exposed to so much learning experiences. The positive people with positive attitude towards learning should be the environment of a child, because if the child is somehow there is a positive attitude towards learning, he can make good grades in the school, and he can also make good relationship with other children. That's so important at the learning stage of the early stages of a child. Okay, next one. And also here in the Philippines, I really have a very high respect to these graduates of junior high school, that learning doesn't stop at the early age, even though they are at that a kind of age, they still have this positive attitudes toward learning. So still want to graduate. So these are the graduates of our alternative learning system. So that is who drop from school or out of school youth to still continue education even in non-formal education. And when they graduate and when they are as passer, they can continue their senior high school and towards college. So that is another kind of learning, not aside from formal education. So we should not stop learning. We still continue to learn because we know that our brain, our body, God has given us lots of talents, lots of we have no limitations towards learning. Only we have to be into that. We have to engage ourselves in learning more each day. Okay, next one. So you see here, this is one of the pride of the Philippines. You see it here that this is, uh, that man is from Cebu. He was a former security guard, but then because he was so passionate about education, he was so passionate towards learning. During the day, he worked as a security guard, and at night, and he continues his learning. So he became now a teacher. So that's the power of education. We cannot say that we should not limit ourselves in on the status that we are having right now. You can have more. We can get lots of career. We can be more successful comparing to our present status if we will be continuing to study. Okay, next. Yes, sir. Dr. Akash is raising his hand. Do you have any question?
No, ma'am. Continue, please.
Okay, thank you. Okay, nice meeting you again. So the outline of my presentation is from the definition characteristic of this learning trend, of course, the initiative benefits, the education trends, and the distance learning application. The fourth one, this is very relevant in our present education. Since pandemic is still here, still the distance learning application is progressing and having different kinds of approaches. Okay, next one. And then what is then lifelong learning? Are we do we how much are we like this? What is as I have told you before, life is continue to teach us many things, so we should always into that. Okay, next one. So lifelong learning is a form of self-initiated education. So it's education that we gain from the four corners of the classroom or from the curriculum given by the government. This is self-initiated education that is focused on personal development. So it is our own attitude. It is our own uh, behavior towards our own development, our personal and professional development. It is best described as being voluntary with the purpose of achieving personal fulfillment. So voluntary means you have this the motivation, the interest is really coming from you, not coming from the other the outside force, not coming from the other people, not that this is not a forced learning but a voluntary learning. So that means you yourself is so in love to that particular training or learning, and you put your own self goal that you will be pursuing to learn more, because that you want to develop more your personality for personal fulfillment or for actualization. That means you can perform more, you can perform better, you can have many talents. They say that some are talented in singing, but if you're going to initiate your own learning towards that, developing your own voice, you can be a great singer also. Okay, next one. It comes from our natural curiosity as a human and natural learners. We are curious in nature, right? We have lots of questions in our mind that we want to know. We want to discover many things. We want to explore many things, and we are natural learners. Means the intelligence and the capability, the abilities, the potentials, the behavior, and all the factors that can contribute to our own self learning. It is just a natural way that we find this curiosity towards learning. So we should always be curious on things that we are interested. Curiosity will lead to greater learning experiences. Curiosity in a way that this new learning experience or new learning outcome will help us along the way, and also will help other people in our other people around us. And it recognizes not that it recognizes that not all learning is derived from a classroom. As I have told you, learning here is in the informal learning, informal setting, not in the four corners of the classroom, not from the books, not from the formal instructor, not from the professor and teacher, but this is from you doing your different learning styles, making your own researches, making your own discoveries. We have lots of platforms nowadays because of the technology, the technological era that we have. We can have our own strategies and styles towards learning. So we can learn even now. We can some of us are multitasking. So that means we learn uh, in the multitasking strategy. Okay, next one. Another definition is self-learning or lifelong learning recognizes that humans have the natural drive to explore, learn, and grow, and encourages us to improve our own quality of learning. Like me, before I face you here, I read the material, I took some readings, and also I reflect on my own experiences, and that is very true to everyone, that we have this drive, we have this high drive, high desire towards learning. We want to explore things positively, and we have to explore things meaningfully and productively. That should be the positive attitudes toward learning. Learn and grow. Learn and grow. That means you should always practice our mind to read, to read, to read, to do things. And also we have our mind is so powerful. We know lots of great educators, great scientists, great teachers. We know all the people. We know lots of intelligent and lots of innovators because they really continue to grow. They really continue to learn. They didn't stop. If sometimes they've experienced failures, still that failures become their positive energy towards learning. And also it encourages us to improve our own quality of life. So improving the quality of life, that means the more the more learning that you get, it's giving you the high quality of life because you are improving your mental technology, you're improving your actions, you're improving your lifestyles because of this learning. So another thing, we know in the Philippines, if you have somehow a better educational qualifications, it can give you better opportunities in positions, in careers, and so on. So that means another thing is what if you have lots of talents, if you have lots of potentials, you can have not only one job, but you can also different kind of jobs here. You can have lots of part-time jobs because of your qualities, because of your skills. So that is, for example, you want to learn how to bake a cake. So you are an employee at the same time you are a businessman because you keep on learning, you keep on exploring things that your quality of life, and also it will give you make your career in advance. Okay, next one. Lifelong learning is the development of human potential through a continuously supportive process, which stimulates and empowers individuals to acquire all the knowledge, values, skills, and understanding that they will require throughout their lifetime, and to apply them with confidence, creativity, and enjoyment in all roles and environment. That's according to Marital 2021. So I love the word here. It's the motivation, the interest should be coming from within, should be coming from your heart, should be coming from it should be your internal factor. It should be your own motivation to do things, to learn things. And this one empowers individual. So all the people here, we have lots of talents, and that talent, we are keep enhancing those talents. We will keep gaining more talents because we love learning. So it empowers us. This before I face here in this platform, I have also faced teachers. So those experiences that facing them and discussing in front of them, the experiences really empower me to do more, to learn more, and to share more. So learning is this is very empowering experience. So I hope that we are all empowered individuals, and we will keep on empowering and enhancing our skills, our knowledge. So we have to keep discovering informations, and that is research is a good avenue to gain knowledge, to gain information, because research is a product of investigation. So that means those knowledge that product of research, they are the empirical based on empirical studies. So the truth, the result in terms of truth and facts and values. That means what we should in learning, we should make our heart bigger, because nowadays this pandemic, our learners and even us are always at home. We have this limited mobility to to be engaged, or to socialize with others, to have engaged uh, to have engagement and collaboration with other people. So somehow the value there is, you should always put value in all the things that we do. We should always keep our big heart in all the things that we do. It's our love for that thing, because if we really do not like the things that we are doing, we will have this feeling of burnout. That means you are not happy doing that. And if you're not happy doing a thing, if it will not give you a good or a positive result, it will not make your life happy. So we should always put values. We should always put love in everything that we do. For us, happiness as if we are not working, as if we are just playing in life, because we do things that we love. And also skills. We have, as a human being, we have this capacity and capability to acquire many skills. If now you don't know how to cook, but if you have this drive or desire to cook, you can enroll in any courses, culinary courses, and after 6 months, you can already get the skills in cooking. Another thing, let's say if you want to, let's say, repair something in your home and no one is around, and you don't want to pay always to someone, to the technicians or other people to fix the broken things at home. So you can also enroll, and also after months you can get another new skills. So that means we should always have this positive attitude towards skills development. We can do that. We can do that. Only we should put our, give time, give time, and also call this focus and concentration on the things that we want to know. Of course, understanding, understanding people nowadays. Some are very stressed, and in terms of understanding, there are lots of misunderstanding because because of the situations that we have right now. But then if you keep on learning, reading, especially if you keep on reading, writing qualitative research. I'm a qualitative researcher, qualitative writer, and it It is making my heart bigger. It is making me, it gives me deeper understanding of the world, of the people. So that is another platform in making yourself to be more understanding, is to read also and to understand people, to understand situations. So they will acquire this. Of course, the confidence is there, the creativity is there, and enjoyment. Creativity and enjoyment, as I have told you, we should always feel happy and be happy and share happiness with other people in everything that we do. Okay, next one. Okay, this one is the characteristic of lifelong learning. It's voluntary. It's not forced. It's not, you should be the one to put yourself into that. It's self-motivated and self-initiated. So where will you get this motivation? It's from within you. If you want to, it's for your family, for your own self, for other people, and self-initiated. No one should force you to do that. Because if someone is forcing you to do that, the learning is not, you will not get a maximum learning, and you will not be happy in learning. So it should be self-initiated, should be coming from you, and doesn't always require a cost, especially now, because of internet, YouTubes, and everything. We can have this do-it-yourself learning, often informal, and self-taught or instruction that is sought. Motivation is out of personal interest and personal development. So this is the characteristic of lifelong learning. We can learn anytime, anywhere, as long as we voluntarily do that with high motivation, and also with this for our personality, for our personal and professional development. Okay, next one. Okay, lifelong learning focuses on the learner rather than instructor of a trainer. So every one of us is a learner. We are always a learner. We learn every day, so we are always a learner. In teaching and learning, in the school, in teaching and learning, the learners are not the only one who learn. Also, the teacher learns. So we are always a learner here. So that means we have to focus on our learning style. We have we have different learning styles. So, and also, if we are the teacher, our learners have different learning styles. They are diverse learners. So that means when we make strategies, it should not be one size fits all. Like in life, in the informal education, we have different kinds of strategies to learn things. Okay, some can learn things easily, some learn things slowly, but still learning. Okay, next one. Okay, lifelong learning initiatives. Next one. Let's say when developing a new skill. Okay, when was the last time that you developed the skill? The skills, for example, in sewing, in cooking, in programming, in public speaking, making presentations, using PowerPoint, using Excel, and different kinds of new skills. When was the last time that you acquired a new skill? If not, maybe it's time for us to think of something, new skill that will help us in our day-to-day activities, at home, at work. So that's we should always add new skill in our life. Okay, next one. Self-taught study. Example, learning a new language, so researching a topic of interest, subscribing to a podcast. So learning a new language, okay, that's a good one, a foreign language, but then it will gonna give us a very tedious sessions if learning new language. And researching a topic of interest, okay, that's another thing. And many more. It's self-taught study. After this, we can, there are lots of online courses now. It's self-paced courses. That's another strategy about this. Okay, next. Learning a new sports or activity. For example, joining a martial arts, learning to ski, and learning to exercise, and etc. So there, aside from the skills, you can learn another skills for example, this one, hobbies. Okay, you can have also that. Okay, next. Learning to use a new technology, smart devices, new software applications. We all know that there is always so-called generation gap. We have to accept the fact that the younger are better in terms of technological intelligence, technological talents, because they are used to do this when they were still young. They are exposed to different kinds of technology, so it's easy for them to use, to understand, and to explore and use the technology. But for us, we cannot say we should not. Our age should not be an excuse in learning new things. We should not say that I'm old, I cannot learn that. That technology, that gadget, was not around during my education way back at 19 forgotten. So you should always also make this strong drive to learn the technologies, because our education is into that. Our education is into highly technological education. So as educators, educators should be uh, 1,000 pages ahead from their learners, and also educators should be adept to this skills in technology. Okay, next one. Acquiring new knowledge, okay, taking self-interest course via online education or classroom-based courses. There are less of online courses now. We have this massive online, uh, massive MOOC, massive online courses, something like that. So we can have also that to let us not have a lazy day. Maybe we can have we can enroll free online courses via internet. Okay, next one. Benefits of lifelong learning to gain new qualification. Of course, let's say you want to apply for a new position, you want to apply for a job, you want to have compensation, higher salary, and having higher salary and high compensation will need another higher qualification. So that means if you want another job, if you want another job with higher salary, and these are the qualifications, and you don't have those skills, so the best thing that you can do is enroll for that, develop that kind of skills, and if you're confident you have this certificate, you can get that job if you are, because you are qualified. To add to your transferable skills, of course, that's another one. Transferable, that means you learn this and you can transfer that to others to increase your employability and promotion prospects. As I have told you before, the talented you, the more skills you have. Let's say, for example, you are not, you can, the more skills and talents you have, the better opportunity to be in the higher positions. Of course, to earn money, to broaden your knowledge, to better contribute to the community, mental stimulation, and personal and professional satisfaction. So all of these should be in us, this benefits of lifelong learning. Okay, next one. It has grown for a global concept with differing manifestations that vary with national, political, and economic priorities, and with cultural and social value system. Okay, the global concept, that means our education during the time of our formal education, during the time when we are in our grade school, high school, college, and comparing to the kind of educations that we are having right now, and comparing to the kind of education that we are giving to our learners, to our students, there is really a difference. So it should be what? It should always be a lifelong. It should be always the trends in education. You should keep on learning, enrolling new courses, enrolling things that your students should know. That's it. That's a global concept. We continue learning. We should be globally competitive. Let's say the Philippines, when going abroad, they are still studying because they have to do the needed competencies of the professionals in abroad. So this is a global concept. So that means the political and economic priorities should be in there for you to have a quality of life. Okay, next one. UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Education, it says, education activities should not be limited to school age and school buildings. That's it. School age, that means after college education, the learning should not stop. Okay? It should always it should continue till the day that you want to stop learning, and that's what that's 6 feet below the ground. So that means as long as we are living, we should keep on learning. We should keep on learning day by day. In school buildings, okay, not only inside the school premises. Some schools are having this educational field trip outside because they believe that there is a good learning experiences when students are outside. The same thing is in us, we can have our own learning, I mean at home, anywhere, everywhere. Education should be considered as the main component of all educational activities, which includes both school education and out of school education component of issue activities. So that means what? Education in the primary education, teacher should go, have this good foundation towards uh, gaining and acquiring and sharing learning. So when they graduate their basic education, they still have this capacity, they still have this skill to and competency to keep on learning. Let's say the basic operations, the basic learning should be given in the formal education. So when they are in the non-formal education, still the needed competencies, the needed skills that they need in learning as skills and continuing the learning are instilled in them. So teachers we should have these quality graduates. So when they finish their college or high school, they can still survive and have this opportunity to have decent and quality life. Educational activities should have a more flexible structure. Yes, flexible should be flexible, doable. It depends upon the context. It depends upon the situation. That should be it. The education activity should also be designed to the kind of learners, to the kind of students that will enroll in that course. Education should be designed as a lifelong process. Lifelong process. It's always continuing learning. And as we live, we also learn to we also should continue learning. It's a lifelong process. Okay, next one. Okay, here in the Philippines, we have this TESDA. TESDA is a non-formal education built in 1994. So this is a vocational courses. I want really to enroll in TESDA. I really want to how to bake cake because cake here is so expensive. I buy cake during birthdays, holiday, Mother's Day. Anyway, March 8th, May 8th today. Today is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to everyone, to all your mothers, to all the mothers, happy Mother's Day. So TESDA, yun. I want to enroll vocational courses in TESDA for me to gain new skills. As are to the old people that you saw earlier, they are the graduate of ALS. And then also and CPD, these are seminars and symposium and others. These are the platforms or the avenues in the Philippines that provides lifelong learning to people. Okay, next one. And this research also, this platform is another kind of lifelong learning, lifelong process. So make a committing to your own decision to engage in the new learning initiatives is an important step. If you set realistic expectations and have a self-motivation to see it through, commit to it and avoid making excuses. That's it. So do not always feel lazy. Do not say, I'm so busy, I cannot learn new skills. But if you are very serious learning new skills in cooking, in repairing, in fixing televisions and other gadgets in your home because you can't afford to pay from time to time technicians and other, and you really want to do it yourself. So every time that anytime you can fix that, anytime you can repair that, and even you can help your neighbors and other relatives whenever they have broken gadgets, you can do that. So if you want to learn new thing, make a commitment, make a promise, make a pledge. Do not make any excuse if you are so serious. But if you're not serious, of course, you are not going to learn new thing. Okay, next one. Motivation is very essential. We all know that. No need to expound more the motivation. It's it's from within. Motivation to for your targets, goals, and aspirations. Me, I'm still young in the service. I have lots of dreams to do, so I'm always motivated every day to go to work, to do things, to to accomplish things, because somehow I know that I still have I have come this far. I still have very long way ahead to get my dreams, to get my aspirations. Next one. Lifelong learning trends. We have this micro learning that's so easy. We can learn things for an hour, for a day, for a month, for 6 months. Virtual conferences like this, I learned from the speakers earlier. I hope you can also learn from me, even a small percentage, still that learning. But if a big percentage of learning, that's a gift to me. Flip classroom, or this is online classroom, so we can send materials, you can learn online, we can videos and anything. And neuroscience and social learning, this one social learning is more on observation. We learn also through observations, and this one the MOOC, the massive online courses. Okay, next one. Open education content. Okay, these are the different, the self-publishing, the big data that we have. I heard that earlier, big data discussed with the chief guest. Also the do-it-yourself or self-directed learning. Okay, next one. Okay, this during the COVID-19 pandemic, the disruption of face-to-face teaching in schools led to billions of students being forced to adapt to a more challenging alternative, remote schooling. While some students were able to keep up with the transition to remote learning, many others, particularly young and socioeconomically disadvantaged learners, experienced large learning losses. So the remote distance learning that happening all over the world, before it's resilience, now it's acceptance. Am I right? We are accepting this kind of online platform that we use in our education. Either is formal or informal education. Okay, next one. The distance learning, this encompassing all the education and training that occurs away from the traditional classroom. It may occur in synchronous and asynchronous time, which allows both employers or learners to determine the best time for participation. So synchronous or asynchronous, that means we are responsible in our self-paced learning. That's it. Okay, next one. Okay, the online learning content ranges from 1 hour courses to complete bachelor, master, or doctorate degree programs. Internet delivered courses have the benefit of serving multiple groups at multiple locations without the expense of equipment, infrastructure to each location. The course material can be delivered either synchronously or asynchronously, which affords multinational operations the opportunity to connect individuals regardless of the time zone or geographical location. So you know what this means. So this is about this distance learning that we are having right now. The power of technology, the power of internet. Okay, if we only know how to use this in a maximum, optimum learning experiences, it can really give us this quality of life that we want. Okay, next. The keywords here, the need for continuous learning in light of economic changes, learning challenges for older workers, concerned about the readiness of students to enter the workforce and remain productive, technological and culturally changed, increasing importance of experiential and active self-regulated learning. Okay, also focus on older workers and ways to remediate age-related cognitive decline. Technology is the key, diverse culture of learning, and experiential, active, self-regulated learning. So this one, self-regulated learning. We are always accountable and responsible to our own learning. Okay, next. Okay, we need this teacher's enthusiasm, directed instruction, and teacher support. The support of teachers in the value of students are to school. That means the teachers should always have this a positive encouragement to our learners, to our students, so they believe in themselves, that they can do things, they can improve themselves more. If we all value them, we support them emotionally. Okay, next one. almost there. Okay, schools and education system can help too, not just teachers. Okay, next one. And also, there should be continuous development of teachers and provide platforms of collaborations. Okay, they know the more heads are better than one. This simulation, this learning with other people is really giving us better experiences. Next. And this one also providing us emotional support. We need that. We need that emotional support in the development of children's learning attitude, the affective factor, the heart, the love that we show to our learners. That's so important for them to learn new skills, because that is where motivation comes, our emotional support. Okay, next one. In conclusion, lifelong learning begins with the individual. Lifelong learning is based on personal interests, needs, and goals. It is an approach which includes comprehensive component, also become a compulsory aspect of individual's life as a result of changing world conditions and developing technology. So we should acquire new knowledge, skills, because there is two permanent things here, changing and learning. Okay, next one. Okay, wisdom is not a product of schooling, but the lifelong attempt to acquire it. You should always have this ambitious attempt to learn each day. If we cannot do it, if we cannot do that, if we should say, I can do this, I can do that. You know, it's a power of motivation. It's a power of encouraging your own self. It's challenging your own self to learn things. And next one. Whatever you have learned or received or heard or seen from me, put it into practice. Practice makes perfect. If learning is not put, we will not put our learning into practice, it's always a waste. Okay, and don't stop believing. Don't stop believing in yourself. Don't stop learning. And thank you. The last one is thank you for your kind attention to me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Rahul, for sharing.
Wow, what a great presentation and amazing example of emphasis on learning and education. Thank you so much, Janet ma'am. Hope we will learn from it and having a great time with us. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. Neel Madhav Parisel from Orissa. He is an associate professor at GIET, Gunupur, Orissa, India. He did his MCA in 2003 from the BPUT Rourkela and his MTech in CS in 2009 from Behrampur University, Orissa. He received his PhD in computer science and engineering from SS Sutam Sihor under the supervision of Professor R.P. Singh and Professor Suresh Chandra Satpathy. He had published many articles in SCI indexing as well as Scopus indexing like Springer, Elsevier, and Indus Science, etc. He had also published many conferences papers and book chapters. He has more than 50 publications to his credit in various reputed international journals and conferences. He has more than 17 years of teaching and research experiences. His research interests include machine learning, data mining, swarm intelligence studies, and their applications to engineering. Recently, he has published 5 patents and copyrights. Currently, he is working as an associate professor in GIET University, Gunupur. He served reviewer and editorial board member of several journal conferences. Here, we welcome you, sir, to address us with your kind words.
Ashish, I think there is some technical issues. So please call upon the Dr. Ashish Gupta.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, once again, on behalf of Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, I would like to extend this vote of thanks and present my heartiest wishes to all the organizers who uh, had given their full support and made their efforts in making this conference a grand success. And I think in near future, more efforts will be made to held conference at higher level and expecting more participants in this sort of conference and will extend this conference to a newer level. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your words. Dear participant, I think the technical session we will start after the few minutes. So being here, being with here. Thank you. So now we are going to moving ahead. The technical session, day 2. Mr. Uday Kumar Sinha. Mr. Uday Kumar Sinha.
Yes, sir.
Can you present your paper?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then after that, Amit Kumar Srivastava. Next one, Sudhanshu Shekhar. Next, Ratna Bhaskar. Miss Komal Lakra. Then after, Roma Khanna. After that, Tisha Agrawal. And someone is not given in the first day. So the next Anupama Sinha, Mrs. J. Gayatri, Ambrish Pandey, and Dr. Chitra Singh, Miss Salni Baurishi, Miss Sumira Naj, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Bharti, Miss Pooja Bhatt, Miss Jasprit Kaur, and also Mr. Rajendra Kumar Mahato. So, Uday Kumar Sinha ji, please just share your screen, and participants should maintain the time slot. The 5 minutes for your presentation and 2 minutes for question and answer by the technical expert. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, yes. Uday ji, yes.
Okay.
Visual. Please start.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, Chairperson of the session, delegates, participants, and everyone present here. Before starting the presentation, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Urissa, working as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Application in College, Dhanbad. First of all, I congratulate to the organizing committee for the grand success of the event. And also, I'd like to thank the organizing committee who has given me an opportunity to present my research paper in this conference. Today, I am going to present a paper on prediction of PM10 and carbon monoxide using support vector regression to analyze the air quality of Dhanbad. The details of the co-authors and paper ID is given here in the slide. The complete presentation is divided in 6 subsections, that is introductions, theory of support vector regression, methodology, research and discussions, conclusions, and references. During the presentation, I will cover all this section. So now let us move to the introduction part. Pollution is an important issue of concern in present-day civilization, and it increases with the fast development of science and technology as side effects. It's affecting our environment by polluting air and water in everyday life, particularly in Dhanbad state. Although air and water pollution have direct impact on human health, but the present study is concerned with air pollution only. Dhanbad, the coal capital of India, is the second highest air polluted city of Jharkhand. PM10 and carbon monoxide are two major pollutants considered in the present study because of their hazardous impact on human health. Hence, assessment of air quality is very much needed for necessary measurement to control the pollution level. In the present work, we have developed a model to predict the concentration level of PM10 and carbon monoxide of Dhanbad, Jharkhand, using the different kernels of support vector regression technique. Support vector regression. It is a well-known that support vector machines are supervised learning model, and it can be used for both classification and regression analysis. Support vector machine was introduced for classification problem, and the major objective of SVM is to explore the optimal hyperplane between classes to separate the data. Kernel functions are used for linear separations of the data points by projecting points in higher dimensional space in case of nonlinear separation of data. Many researchers have worked on support vector regression for time series forecasting to achieve greater accuracy because SVR model offers better forecast capability and faster training. Hence, SVR is used for the present purpose. To study the prediction of major air pollutants like PM10 and carbon monoxide using support vector regression, I have collected the data from continuous ambient air quality monitoring station situated at Tata Stadium, Jorapokhar, Dhanbad, from the website of Central Pollution Control Board, New Delhi. The dataset consists of concentrations of pollutants as well as meteorological factors, and the total number of features in the datasets is 10, namely particulate matter, PM10, nitric oxide, nitrogen dioxide, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, temperature, relative humidity, and solar radiation. To predict the air quality, data were taken for the period from April 2019 to September 2021. The standard steps for data pre-processing includes imputing missing values, removing outliers, feature scaling, and feature selection. In imputing missing values, Missing data are substituted by linear interpolation estimation using nearest available data points for analysis. An irregular pattern was observed for carbon monoxide between 2019 and November 2019. Hence, values of this parameter for these periods were removed. We have done in removing outliers. Feature scaling is one of the most important data processing steps for designing a predictive model. In this step, we have used a min-max scaling method to normalize the data. From the features available, a few features were selected to reduce dimensionality of the data set and also to remove collinearity. Pearson's correlations coefficient methods for feature selection is used to check collinearity among features. The next step in the methodology is designing a SVR model. In SVR model, various popular kernel functions are available that can be used to transfer data into high-dimensional feature space, such as linear kernel, polynomial kernel, radial basis function kernel, sigmoid kernel, etc. In this work, RBF kernel, polynomial, and linear kernel functions of SVR model are used for the above mentioned purpose. In addition to kernel functions, other important parameters like error acceptance and regularizations constant are also considered for the present work. Grid search CV method is used to obtain best values of epsilon and C. The performance of a model for prediction of AQI is measured by statistical matrices like R squared, mean absolute error, mean squared error, and root mean squared error. And these are calculated by using the following formula, which is already written in the slide.
Udayji, please conclude your presentation.
Okay, sir. In this slide, the regression graphs of PM team for the various kernel functions are shown in figure 2 and 3. The distribution plots are presented in figure 2, whereas bar graphs are displayed in figure 3. The distribution plots exhibits the distribution of original and predicted values of the present problem. The accuracy and the different types of errors are presented in table 1. From table 1, it is observed that RBF kernel function gives least error in prediction with maximum accuracy than the other two kernels. Figure 4 and 5 shows regression graphs of carbon monoxide for the kernel functions for getting predicted values of carbon monoxide with accuracy. Figure 4 gives distribution plots and bar graphs are displayed in figure 5. The accuracy and the different types of errors predicted are shown in table 2. In the present study, it can be clearly stated that RBF kernel method predicts most accurate results, approximately 65% with least error, MSE 1% for both the pollutants PM10 and CO, carbon monoxide. Although polynomial and linear kernel methods may be considered as poor methods compared to RBF kernel method, but polynomial method shows comparatively better accuracy and lesser values in error compared to linear kernel method. And these are the references. These are the list of references which I have referred. Thank you for your patience listening.
Okay, thanks, Udayji. We have two intellectual portion. Dr. Indran Sahu, Department of Mathematics and MCA, and another one is Dr. Ashish Gupta, our controller of examination, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee University, is chairing the technical session. Sir, I am Sahuja and Gupta sir. Can you ask any questions regarding this PPT?
Can Uday sir, can you please show the first slide of your presentation?
Yes, sir. Okay, okay. In which slide, sir?
First main, what is the, actually we have joined late, so that we don't know what is the topic of your presentation. We want to see the topic.
Come to the first slide. Come to the first slide.
Okay.
Uday, come to the
Okay.
first slide. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Prediction of PM10 and CO using support vector regression to analyze the. So sir, which algorithm you have used for analyzing for support vector machine?
Excuse me, sir. Your voice is not coming properly. Please repeat the question.
Which algorithm you have used?
Oh, I have used a support vector regression model.
What are the advantage features of this algorithm?
Sir, it works better for the non-linear distribution of data, and also it performs very well in robust outliers.
How many samples you have taken into consideration?
I have taken the data of approx 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yes, sir.
So what was the source of your data?
I have taken the data from the official website of Central Pollution Control Board, New Delhi.
Okay. So which parameters you have studied in this prediction?
In this work, I have studied only two parameters, that is PM10 and carbon monoxide.
So what were your findings?
In this model, in support vector regression model, I have found only 65% accuracy, but I'm also doing work with several others model, as like random forest or decision trees. In random forest, I have found approx 95% accuracy. But this was my the work in the preliminary stage.
Okay, sir. Anybody else want to ask any question or have any query?
I think, sir, no questions, sir. So, can I call another participant, sir?
Sure, sir.
Okay. So the next participant is the Amit Kumar Srivastava. Amit Kumar Srivastava is there? Amit Kumar Srivastava. Okay, fine. Not there? Next, Sudhanshu Shekhar. Sudhanshu Shekhar is there? Sudhanshu Shekhar. Okay. Next, Ratna Bhaskar. Ratna Bhaskar. Okay. Komal Lakra. Next, no, Komal Lakra. Miss Roma Khanna. Okay. Now next, Richa Agrawal. Richa Agrawal is there? Richa Agrawal. Okay. Dr. Anupama Sinha. Dr. Anupama Sinha, Mrs. J. Gayatri. Mrs. J. Gayatri is there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you present your paper? Participants, please maintain the time limit. We have the 5 minutes for presentation and then 2 minutes for question answer. Uday, mute your mic. Yeah. Please. Gayatri, please share.
So screen sharing.
Screen is sharing, but your PPT is not showing. Okay, now it's okay. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. So my topic is marital violence due to dowry system in India. So here, the marital violence has been issues long existent in India, especially here in our country, that is in India. There is a lot of laws prohibiting the practice of dowry practice. So here, there has not been many changes in the past years, but especially here, the aim of this paper to analyze the prevalence of a dowry system and as well as the violence due to it. And here, this study is based upon the both secondary and as well as the primary data. So the primary data for the study is collected from 213 samples, respondents through a well-structured questionnaire by method of convenient sampling by way of using the charts, graph, percentage, and chi-square test. And the independent variables used in the study, that is the age, gender, occupation, education qualification, and marital status. So then the dependent variable is depend upon the public opinion on marital violence in the dowry system, especially here. It also be noted that the majority of the respondents strongly agree that the amount of dowry system in the abuse of pride, and it also be observed that women are most likely to be victim of marital violence. So here it is to bring in a measure for better and as well as strict implementation of laws prohibiting the practice of dowry and to prevent the abuse of women. So when we talk about this topic, yes, definitely that the abuse in any form of has serious health consequence also, and it will create like a disease of heart, lung, diabetic, cancers, and so many problems is there. And abuse can be a physical and emotional, sexual and financial, reproductive or digital. So the first law to prevent the marital violence due to dowry was a Dowry Prohibition Act in the year of 1961, and which made the act of giving and receiving the dowry a crime. And the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which was states that the 4 women experience a form of domestic violence, that is marital violence due to dowry is widely prevalent in India. So when we talk about this topic, yes, definitely here the system of dowry is a social practice, and it is a more important, and we that is I focus and develop the policies on this area. So here there are several initiatives, acts by the government to prevent the marital violence due to dowry. The Ministry of Women and Child Development as a scheme wants to stop the integrate support and as well as to assist to women affected by the violence and a scheme for universalization of women. And they are also giving the helpline to provide a 24 hours and as well as emergency response to women affected by violence. And here the Ministry of Women and Child Development also be enacted the Protection of the Women from a Domestic Violence Act in the year of 2005 and a Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961, and which both this act which prohibits the payment of dowry. So here they have a certain important factors also will be there and causes for marital violence due to dowry. It can be listed as a family status, second, the level of education and community, fourth, psychological development, and D, rooted cultural and social norms. So these are the important things. So what is the main important this paper means aim and object of the paper? Yes, to analyze about the prevalence of dowry system and violence due to it, and objectives, the first to study about the impact of the dowry system and marital violence, and second to analyze the contributing factors that cause the marital violence in India, and third to examine the effectiveness of Dowry Prohibition Act in the year of 1961. So when we talk about this aim and object, the next moving to a research methodology. Yes, here the aim of the study to analyze about the impact of a dowry system and to contribute the factor towards marital violence. So here, this paper is based upon the primary and as well as secondary and primary data. So the primary data for the study is collected from 213 samples responded by using way of structural questionnaires, and sampling method in the way of convenient sampling. So here the independent variables are gender, age, and as well as marital violence in the dowry systems. So this there is a tools of analysis used in the study, that is a chart, graph, percentage, and chi-square test for meaningful analysis. So here the first figure 1, which explains about, which represent about the distribution of that is with respect to the age, and second figure 2, which represent the distribution of sample responding with respect to the gender, and figure 3, which represent the distribution of a sample responding with respect to the occupation, and figure 4, which represent the distribution of sample responding with respect to the education qualifications, and figure 5, which represent the distribution of the sample respondents with respect to the marital status, and figure 6, which deals about the distribution of sample respondents with respect to the opinion on the practice of dowry, and figure 7, which deals about the distribution of sample respondents with respect to their opinion on whether the law has failed to crack down the practice of dowry, and figure 8, which deals about the sample respondents with respect to their opinion on which more likely to be a victim of the marital violence, and figure 9, which deals about the distribution of sample respondents with respect to their opinion on the causes of the marital violence due to dowry, and figure 10, which deals about the sample respondents with respect to the agreeability on the statement that amount of dowry results in abuse of right, and figure 11 and as well as figure 12, which deals about the respondent with respect to the
Gayatri, please conclude your paper.
yes, sir. So here, based upon my research paper, I conclude my research. Yes. So here, the marital violence, especially it can lead to a negative health effect also. Here, nearly 7,000 dowry deaths were recorded in the year of 2017, and still it was rising also. And so this question of the woman needs to be changed, and future research can be also carried out the different ways to implement the laws and prohibiting a dowry. So it can be further. I conclude that there is a huge impact of dowry in marital violence, and a better and strict implementation of the laws which prohibiting the dowry is necessary in India to prevent and stop the abuse and violence due to dowry. So these are the main important things. Thank you.
Sir, thank you for your sharing your view. Uh, Sir, can you ask any questions regarding that presentation?
Gayatri ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am? Gayatri, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is audible.
What we observed in your presentation was that the results which you have shown in those presentations are not very clear because the percentage value is not being displayed properly in that chart which you have shown. Pie diagram, you have used pie diagram for representing the value or the data or the results which you have found, but no, we were not able to find out what was the exact value pertaining to each sample that you have taken in your presentation. You have shown 10 legends, but none of the legend was very much clear. So you cannot make out what was the actual finding of your result of your research.
So, I think the answer is clear. Kathy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So the next the participant is Dr. Anupama Sinha. Dr. Anupama
Thank you,
Sinha.
sir.
Yeah, please.
Thank you so much. Let me introduce you. First of all, I am Dr. Anupama Sinha. I am Assistant Professor in Department of Sociology in Banaras Hindu University. And my topic today is emerging trends of multidisciplinary research, analyzing its benefits. So it's a misconception that multidisciplinary research is new and applicable to the discipline of science and technology. Recent trends have witnessed sea changes and innovation. Multidisciplinary researches are being practiced in all the streams across majority of researches. The multidisciplinary approach of researchers are gaining immense importance and popularity in the modern researches. They involve search for the truth using many specialized branches of learning that aim to achieve a common goal using knowledge from other disciplines also. It studies address and addresses the current and real problems with a prioritized focus of solving them with a broad context. Most of the well-known universities nowadays in the world are involving in the multidisciplinary researches with the collaborative approaches. Pharmacists, biomedical scientists, computer, clinical scientists, social scientists, scholars from humanities, psychology, and even from performing arts who involve in accompaniment of each other in both qualitative and endeavor with the objective to recruit and accomplish collaborative researches in numerous areas, which in turn contribute towards academic and social excellence. They encourage talents of multidisciplinary research team to work and contribute to on diverse themes. Most of the times, complicated research problems cannot be solved by particular discipline and necessitates collaboration of researchers of diverse expertise across a range of disciplines together to achieve research goals. The collaborative team of the multidisciplinary researchers make it conceivable to think beyond the routine knowledge, and therefore the multidisciplinary researchers connect the members of diverse expertise to achieve a particular research objectives and efficiently solve major research problems. This paper focuses on analyzing the various benefits of emerging trends of multidisciplinary researches in different streams across the world. The multidisciplinary research is the technique in which tools from different disciplines are used to find an explanation for the question being asked. It refers on how or two or more disciplines contribute to understanding and defining what learning is. It illustrates the depth of integration of disciplines. Multidisciplinary researchers address current and real problems with a prioritized focus on solving them. This approach signifies that knowledge of several disciplines is used for a given problem. Multidisciplinary research encourages experts from diverse grounds to work together on a common theme within the limits of their own disciplines. It requires the researchers to bring themselves to the suburb of their own field to form a new concept and create an entirely new interdisciplinary pitch. With a mutual faith, cooperation, and assurance, they transcend disciplinary limits and adopt a more holistic approach. This approach of research is much better application of all the disciplines for the betterment of the mankind. Therefore, the multidisciplinary research, or MDR, as I would be using the term like this in future, is a research technique in which tools from different sciences disciplines are used to find explanation of the questions being studied. It is much needed to solve many research problems and challenges in the next decades to come. It needs cooperative, coordinated, and unified efforts from different disciplines. It is pooling of knowledge to solve the research problems at hand. In other words, we can say that MDR involves the search for truth using many specialized branches of learning that aim to achieve a common goal using knowledge from other disciplines. We can say that it is MDR is an investigation or investigation of problems to test the hypothesis, combining many approaches, fields, or academic methods. It is a knowledge search for an objective and systematic method for original contributes to existing stock of knowledge involving a combination of several disciplines and methods. It is becoming increasingly prevalent. The MDR approach is becoming very widespread in developing countries to solve the problems. It is representing the progressive scholarly method of current time. The knowledge from several disciplines are used and they complement each other in such a way that holistic conclusion is drawn without being partial at all. It is the problem solving that is the driving factor behind the prevention and the prevalence of the MDR. The reason for the growing dominance of MDR is its problem solving, project oriented application in the research. It is about applying the knowledge from various disciplines, and it helps in achieving the research objective or research problem by viewing it and understanding it in its totality. It helps to understand the modern research problem in its multifaceted way. The complex natured research problems need multidisciplinary approach of understanding and solving, needing multifarious approaches, and it also promotes the core human skills, for example, teamwork, leadership, tolerance, ambiguity, and altruism to its researchers. It is a multi-pronged approach in the problem-solving method, and it involves a team of individuals specialized in various fields, so that every aspect of the problem can be analyzed by its particular specialist in order to arrive at holistic solution.
Dr.
In an,
Anupama,
yes, sir.
please conclude.
Okay, sir. Conclusively, I can say that the MDR approach is considered as a revolutionary approach, and it is as it is working collectively towards solving a problem and taking control of the situation that requires comprehensive knowledge and skills from multiple disciplines, making MDR more popular in all the progressive sectors and encourages more cohesive working. In today's competitive world, we can say that having multiple skills and multidisciplinary approach is easy to adopt and give an edge over others, and therefore making MDR more imperative for everyone. Many universities, colleges, schools now offer multidisciplinary courses, allowing students greater flexibility and supporting them in achieving their academic and career goals. And I would suggest that online courses should also be provided in multidisciplinary studies, and more of such multidisciplinary conferences should be held to help develop students in multidisciplinary research skill and encourage them. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anupama,
Thank you, sir.
sharing your view. Sir, any questions?
No, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next upon, Mr. Joydev Ghosh. Please share your screen. After this presentation, Ambrish Pandey is there. Ambrish Pandey is there. Okay. So next, Shalini Sun is there? Sun
Yes, sir.
available?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So next, your turn.
Okay.
What happened, Jodev Ghosh? Please. Jodev Ghosh ji, please share your PPT. First of all, unmute your mic. Jodev Ghosh ji, unmute your mic.
Yes, I am.
Please, as soon as possible.
PPT is coming.
No. Not coming.
Now,
No, no. Okay, Jodev ji, please resolve what technical issue. Then I'll call the Sally.
hold on.
I'm not holding you because it's taking.
Yes, done,
Okay.
done. Can you please let me tell?
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah, thank you.
And make sure to complete it by 5 minutes and 2 minutes for your question and answer.
Sure. Thank you. My presentation is related to cybersecurity awareness, and I'm the MD CEO of Joydeep Consultancy Services Private Limited. So what happens these days, you have more to secure than ever before due to human machine intelligence, mobile devices, email systems, internet safety, data privacy issues are there, financial and employee info. These things does happen, like human machine intelligence, UI, DAI based Aadhaar database needs to be securely handled as it has very sensitive information about human. Security against information theft is a very serious issue. There needs lots of development, and Government of India and many states and private agencies are working very hard, and research are going on. There are lots of security threats like malware, phishing scams, user error, legacy systems, theft, like data theft, HTTP server error, these things. Hyperterminals web hacked. SMBs are the primary targets for ransomware, but only 30%, 34% test backups regularly. 30% of phishing emails are opened, and 12% of targets click on the link or attachment. Next, about what will you do to reduce your vulnerability, common cybersecurity mistakes to avoid, things you need to know about ransomware, creating a security policy. Common cybersecurity mistakes are like post IT full of passwords, security software that never gets updated. The fix is check updates like firewall, antivirus, etc. Replace old, outdated security equipped. Things you need to know about ransomware. These things are like sort of malware. Malware is like means malicious software. Malware can enter a system through downloads, email attachments like spams, advertisements, or any type of hole in the security of the system. It may be corporate espionage or cyber hacking. That is, unethical hackers does this thing to train employees. As a best practice, you should require all new employees to complete cybersecurity training and then offer it to an on an ongoing basis to avoid information being missed. Creating security policy, all access pass, these things limit permissions. If employees don't need access to sensitive information and assets to complete their job, limit their permission. Key takeaways: back it up, choose the right technology partners, take precautions to safeguard your data, applications and software up to date, firewall, antivirus, email security should be present all the times. Cyber criminals are taking advantage of new attack vectors, mobile devices, web-enabled and mobile applications, web browsers to accomplish their mission. HTTP's extension error, malicious mobile applications, these things get troublesome. Thank you.
Thank you for giving us such a wonderful presentation. Sir, can you ask any questions here?
No, sir. Fine. Let's continue with the next presentation.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So, next we call upon Miss Shalini Barushi.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Shalini Borasi. I am presenting paper Shakespeare as a great dramatist. Abstract.
If you
Yes.
have a presentation here.
No, sir, I am not having.
Okay. Please.
Yes. Shakespeare is a great dramatist of the world. His works are still considered remarkable and significant. He is recognized because of his immense variety of his works. Genius and art work together in union, and we get object of wonder which his plays continue to be. He wrote 37 plays, but all are created different impression of beauty, art, and wisdom. Shakespeare's dramas were performed in theaters, and people were always very anxious to see the performance of his dramas. He had provided his audience all pleasurable emotions and enlarged our knowledge and understanding of human psyche. Moreover, Shakespeare had marvelous understanding of human life and human psychology. There are close pieces of psychoanalysis, soul dissection, and element human patience which are common to mankind in every age and country. The present paper analysis is work and contribution in English literature. The paper is completely conceptual in nature for which secondary data was taken into consideration. The researcher has used his prior knowledge to analyze the details collected. Shakespeare writing style. The plays are often categorized as tragedies, comedies, and or histories. Tragedies features sympathetic protagonists who were doomed by their flaws. Comedies tended to more upbeat with happy endings. The historical plays were frequently motivated by political activities. As an actor, Shakespeare was presented during the production of his plays and therefore wrote them with very little stage direction. Dialogue was very written dialogue was written in blank verse and iambic pentameter, meaning that each line of speech is 10 syllables long and unrhymed. In his early works, lines were often stretched at the end. As his writing developed, Shakespeare gained an understanding that a more lyrical style of writing would hold the audience's interest and be more pleasing to the ear. He developed an attribute rhythm to his dialogue, stressing his line to second syllable to provide a rhythmic pattern to his speeches. Shakespeare's writing developed and evolved throughout his career. The plays of his period tend to be less sophisticated than his later works. Shakespeare's first play was written in convention style. Shakespeare's first play was written in convention style. He wrote them in elegant language that sometimes does not need in character of drama. The poetry sometimes depends on elaboration of metaphors and conceit, and the language is often rhetorical. Later Shakespeare adopted traditional style. Shakespeare is a great dramatist. Shakespeare changed the nature of drama in England, arriving, the London, arriving in London in the last decade of 16th century. Shakespeare began his play writing by adopting the forms of already successful plays about historical, the tragedy of blood, romantic comedy, and plot centering on the Machiavellian villain. From the very first, however, Shakespeare transformed everything he touched. Character developed from the elementary stock characters of earlier traditions, such as the young hero and heroine. Shakespeare great tragedy came later Hamlet, King Lear, Othello, Macbeth, all coming between 1599 to 1605. Shakespeare also started writing his histories and comedy. His comedy become nobly darker and more complex. His most important plays are Hamlet, Macbeth, The Tempest. Hamlet is considered as a great play of Shakespeare. There is psychological complexity to the central character that by which has achieved great sympathy and reputation by the audience. Hamlet grief touched the audience heart and it has become one of the famous character of Shakespeare. Whatever the reason, the play has become the milestone as a great drama of the Shakespeare. Macbeth. Macbeth is one of the shortest and most intense poem of Shakespeare.
Shanley ji, please
Yes, sir.
conclude your. Please conclude your.
Okay, sir. The conclusion is many of his quotes and dialogues are valuable ideas that can be used in soft skill training. One can learn a lot about life skills and understand human emotions from his character. He has produced everlasting pages in blank verse which are translated into many languages, read and enacted even after 500 years. He has a bright star. He is a bright star in the brilliant galaxy of men of letters that illumine the darkness of ignorance. He was such a poet who explored the secrets of nature as few mortal have ever done and interpreted the same fellow being as best a possible researcher. States the Shakespeare was the main who of the moderns and perhaps ancient poets. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for sharing your view. Sir, can you ask any questions, sir?
No, sir, it's a literature survey.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. So now the next participant, Miss Sumera Naj. Miss Sumera Naj, please.
Yes,
present
sir.
your paper.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, want to share my screen, sir. Hello.
Your screen is there, but your PPT is not shown.
Okay, sir. Just wait. Sir, is it shareable now?
Hello, sir.
No, no,
Yet?
no. Dot.
Not. Okay, sir. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Sumaira Naz Sheikh, a PhD scholar from APJ Abdul Kalam University, Indore. Today, I'm going to present my topic with the title Decoding Eco-Critical Themes in Arundhati Roy's The God of Small Things. And now, first of all, eco-criticism, the term revolving this title is eco-criticism. Eco-criticism is that branch of literature which deals with the linking of literary criticism and theory with ecological issues at large. this this critical movement which attempts to link literature and science of ecology. Now, this eco criticism has widened the field of literature, and environmental studies has become the subject of interest. So, am I audible? Sorry.
Yeah, audible. But your presentation is not showing.
Yeah. Sorry for the info. Presentation is not visible. I'm trying from here to show it. I don't know why it is not going to be presented here.
Oh, okay, continue, please.
Okay, sir. Okay, I'm continuing it. Now, this eco-criticism is a field, is a widened field which has linked the literature and environment studies. Earlier, what was going on, that we were concerning environmental issues for the sciences only. Now, this eco-criticism has linked the literature and the science together, and it has become the subject of the interest for many writers, and that is a need of the hour too. This work by Arundhati Roy, The God of Small Things, is the masterpiece, and linking nature with the characters of the novel has reflected the real purpose of the novel's theme. Roy has become a role model for others after donating her Booker Prize for this work, uh, which she got for this God of Small Things, and she contributed such prizes, amounts, and everything for Narmada Bachao Andolan. It is one of the example before us all, that how when a woman like Arundhati Rai is going to contribute through her pen's power for the protection of the environment, that how beautifully she is going to fight with her pen for the cause of the environment and its protection. Now, we in this novel, I'm going to present how she has compared man versus nature. One of the important character in this novel is Viluthu. Veluthu. Viluthu is one of the important character in this novel, which has shown how he remains always in gratitude with the nature, and has shown that nature has always presented as a mother, as a skill giver, as a uh, food giver to this character. So indirectly here Arundhati Roy wants to convey the message that nature is always a giver. So when it is giving us, why it is not our responsibility, why we are not taking it as our responsibility, to save it, to protect it. It's not only nature as a human being. Nature concluding every part means both biotic as well as abiotic component of this nature should be protected. Concluding, like we are saying that abiotic component including our land, our water bodies, our atmosphere, and biotic component including every creature of this universe should be protected. Now the second important things which she wants to highlight here is population explosion. That population explosion is one of the main serious issue over this earth, as we know that pandemic, which we still somewhere are in the hit line, that third wave would be there. For God's sake, it would not happen again. But population is one of the main reason for inviting such pandemics like COVID-19 and all. So by our uniting efforts, we can be able to restrict our activities by restoring the natures, like following afforestation, cleaning our river bodies, like Arundhati Roy has mentioned, Narmada Bachao Andolan. Similarly, cutting dependency on the technology, like we know that like we are using we are using towers. So what's the drawback of using technology, using multiple technological tools, like spreading long wires inside the earth is actually destroying um, animal diversity, is destroying because of the harmful radiation emitted from these towers. Now the third.
Please conclude your paper.
Okay, okay, fine. Now, as far as the conclusion of my paper is concerned, the simple and short message is that nature is all, and there is a two-way process which we will give to it, we will get the same in return. What we will give it, we will get the same in return. Nature is in the demand to get healed so that the whole earth get freedom from entropy. No one can attack us, neither China nor USA. No man can kill other man, but the only destroying force will be the earth itself. Thou its anger and wants in it by this modern man, who just want to be the taker from it without giving it the time to heal. So as today is a mother the day, so our biggest mother is Mother Earth. So it's our holy solely responsibility to save this before it will be too late. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you for your giving your presentations. Sir, have you any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. So the next participant is Ruchi Shangal. Ruchi Shangal. Chemical proofing of root of an ethnomedical medicine plant. Is there? Anjana Kumari. Okay, fine. Please conclude a paper within a time limit. Thank you. Shumira Sheikh, please stop your sharing. Miss Sumira Naz Sheikh, please stop your sharing. Unmute your mic, Anjana ji. Unmute your mic. Anjana Kumari, please unmute your mic and start your presentation. I think there is technical issue. So So we'll call the next participant. Kumar Ashwani. Kumar Ashwani.
Yes, sir,
Kumar
I am here.
Okay.
Okay, just a minute, sir.
Yeah, please present your paper.
Yes, yes. Just a minute, sir.
Good way.
Just my camera is not working.
No issue, just present your paper.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, myself. Just a minute, sir. Just a minute, sir. Just Just a minute, sir. Just a minute. I am still here. A window. Documents. I cannot share my PPT, sir.
Okay.
I am sending you.
Okay, please.
I am sending you to you. Just a minute, sir.
Send it the WhatsApp group.
Yes, 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 sir. I am sending it in the WhatsApp group, sir. Abstract. I have sent it, sir.
Okay, fine.
This is the PPT, sir, and see.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll share the screen. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
finish the within 5 minutes. Not the more than the.
Okay, okay, sir. I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm trying. We'll just show on the screen, sir.
Just wait. Is it visual?
Yeah, it is visual, sir. Myself, Kumar Ashwini Kashyap from Siddhokan, a research scholar from Siddhokan Murmu University, Dumka. I have the paper. Please next slide, sir. And structural analysis of cadmium sulfide CDS nanoparticles synthesized by chemical route. My colleagues Praveen Kumar Mato, Prasanta Patra has very much helped me. Thank you, Praveen Kumar Mato and Prasanta Patra, and also my guide, Dr. Abdul Sattar, HOD Physics Department, SKM University, Dumka. Next, sir, please. My paper contains 6 basic parts: the abstract, introduction, experimental details, result, discussion, conclusion, and references. Next, sir. Abstract: in the study of cadmium sulfide, nanoparticles were synthesized by a chemical co-precipitation method. Structural, elemental composition, and morphological properties of prepared sample have been studied. Cadmium chloride and thyrourea were used source of the cadmium, sulfur, and nickel respectively. Sodium hydroxide is used as the stabilizing agent. The crystallic structure, crystal size, and interplanar space, lattice parameter, volume in the unit cell, microstrand induced lattice have estimated by X-ray, XRD. Next, sir, that is the X-ray diffraction technique. XRD result shows that CDS hexagonal ridge structural phases at room temperature. The average gain was found to be nano range, that is equals to 9.19 nanometer, which confirms quantum dots. FESM image micrographs clearly indicates that the CDS have smooth surface and appear to be roughly spherical. That is, I have not written here in this way. It is equals to 9.19 nanometer. EDAX analysis confirms the presence of cadmium and sulfide almost stoichiometric. The investigation reveals the CDS is stable for the optoelectronic devices application. Next, sir. Introduction. It having the nanomaterial have the attract the people's curiosity because now in this day there are much more applications of nanomaterials. Them apart from bulk solids and molecules, because innovative features of nanomaterials are determined by their size, structure, and form a better knowledge of the mechanism by which these properties might changes, as well as a new approach for synthesis process could be important challenges in nanosciences. Next, sir. The surface characteristics of nanoparticle have a major influence on their structure and, as a result, on their nanoscale device in a variety of technological domain from electronics. So the targeted pharmaceuticals, there is a due to the high surface to the volume ratio nanoparticles. The removal of surface imperfection from the nanoparticles by modifying their surfaces where various organic, you can't remove the nanoparticles, would provide an aggregation barrier and electrical prevention. Next, sir. The binary compounds like PBS, ZNS, ZNSE, CDS, CDSE, CDDT, tertiary compound GAASP, arsenic, gallium, and arsenic, etc. Quaternary compounds like indium, gallium, and arsenic, etc. I have written wrongly here. That means I have sent you another presentation. This is the rough presentation. Are the semiconducting materials generally used in electronics and optoelectronic devices. The second and sixth binary compounds most promising choice among the above mentioned compound, what I have mentioned here. Next, sir. When a semiconductor absorbs light, the number of free electrons and electron holes pair increases, increasing its electrical conductivity. The light that reaches the semiconductor material must have enough energy to raise electrons across the band gaps. In order for this to happen, the band gap is critical characteristics of the semiconductors. Infrared, photodetectors, and thermoelectricity both require narrow band. Hello.
Yeah. Please continue. Please continue.
Are you listening, sir?
Yeah. Please continue.
Due
Please
to
continue.
wrong connectivity, have missed the structured material nanotubes, coating nanowires, employing nanofibers, DMS, nanosheets, quantum dots, and thin films, nanopowders. These are the nano structured materials, sir. Next slide, sir. The nanomaterials is utilized for biomedical applications, electronics, health and environment, spintronics, energy conversion, sensors and detectors, optoelectronic, and most of the things like optoelectronic devices. Next, sir. Sir, next presentation. So next slide. Am I?
Yeah.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, audible, please.
Oh, okay.
I think Ashwani.
Yes.
Please conclude.
Yes. is the camera. What I am using. Oh, mic, sir.
I think there is some technical problem from Kumarashwani. So,
Are you listening, sir?
yeah, now I'm listening, but your awaz is again stuck.
Oh,
Okay.
it's structuring. My voice
Okay,
is
no
structuring.
issue. Okay, no issue.
You have presented all my papers, sir, without my okay. Sir.
Okay, just conclude your papers. Just conclude your
Okay,
papers.
just show me the conclusion paper, sir.
Okay, conclusion. If you have, just
Yeah,
conclude your paper.
I have, sir. Just a minute,
Let's
sir.
conclude. Let's conclude your paper. Just.
Okay, just a minute.
Just conclude your paper.
Now
Done.
I can share, sir.
Yeah, please do it fast.
Yes. There is sharing. Can you see my screen, sir? Shared screen?
No. We can't see.
Okay.
Just conclude. Just say words.
Okay, sir. Just a minute, sir. Conclusion. Just a minute, sir. This study confirms the conclusion of the study is this study confirms the prepared nanomaterials have a wide band gap less than 2 electron volt and are reduced by nickel doping from 2.1 electron volt to 2.10 electron volt, which were useful to modify the efficiency of optoelectronic devices such as solar cell, LED, lasers, etc. In the era of rapid energy consumptions, this type of nanomaterials of wide band gap and optical absorbance in the visible range are suitable for the production of sustainable energy consumption by the using a window material in the solar cell. This may consider the formation of new material with innovative properties. This is the conclusion. Thank you, sir.
Sir, any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the next participant is, again, I'll call Anjana Kumari. Okay. Amit Kumar Srivastava. Anyone want to present a paper if you have not presented here?
Sir, I would like to present. My name is Abhishek Mahesh.
Okay.
May I go ahead?
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Just give me a minute. I'll open my PPT.
Please. Wait.
Hello.
Yeah, Amit Kumar Srivastava.
Yes, sir. I am present here.
No, after that, I'll call. Already called you.
Yes, sir. Is my PPT visible?
Abhishek is my please. No, not for that.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so my topic is the performance analysis of the hospitality industry in India. So in this paper, I've done a comparison of Indian and international companies, and I've done that using a simple tool, which is ratio analysis. So the objectives of the study are as follows. So the first one is to figure out if Indian hotels are doing better than international hotel chains. And it's to see which side of the industry is performing better. It's to see if the domestic hotels are doing better or if the international hotel chains are doing better. And the third one is to give viable solutions to whichever side is doing worse. So in our paper, we found out that the domestic sides are performing a little worse than the international hotel chains. So how we've gathered the data for this study is through secondary data. So we've taken financial statements of the past 5 years of all 6 hotel chains, and we've done a comprehensive ratio analysis. So the various ratios that we've used are solvency ratios, liquidity ratios, and profitability ratios. So the data is gathered from financial statements and websites such as Money Control and wallstreet.com. So the two hypotheses for this research project are the domestic hotel chains are in a better financial position than international hotel chains, and that international hotel chains are in a better financial position than domestic hotel chains. So from this research paper, we figured out that the alternative hypothesis is accepted and the null hypothesis is rejected. So the limitations of the study are the ratio analysis do not give an in-depth analysis into the problems. They only serve as face level indicators, and they only show problems at a surface level. And the second limitation is that companies can make the ratios look appealing to shareholders. It's very easy to do window dressing and to change the ratios before a financial year ends so that more people invest in the company. And in the analysis, we figured out that international hotel chains have better liquidity ratios, international hotel chains have better solvency ratios, and domestic hotel chains have better profitability ratios. Since international hotel chains are better in 2 out of the 3 ratios, null hypothesis is rejected and the alternative hypothesis is accepted. So to conclude my paper, I would like to say that the international hotel chains are doing better, and the domestic hotel chains can improve their liquidity ratios by improving on the day-to-day cash handling. They can keep some more cash in their reserves, and they can also invest the cash that they have in projects that give them better returns. And the domestic hotel chains can also improve the debt to equity handling. So all 3 of the hotels that we've chosen have more debt than equity. So if they were to undergo a loss, then it would be difficult to pay off their debt and to pay off their shareholders. And the international hotel chains are performing better due to their management style. And that's it. So I would like to conclude my paper by saying this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for presenting your paper. Sir, any questions?
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Abhishek,
Yes, sir.
have you identified what were the reasons for domestic hotels not performing better than international hotels?
Yes, sir. So we haven't taken regions individually, but then we've taken India as a whole. So we've done analysis for all the hotels that come in one region. So India, for example, and for international hotels, we've taken it globally. So the reason why we've done ratio analysis and not just seen profits, and we've not just seen values from the balance sheet, is that ratio analysis, no matter what the value is, they give the same results.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So the next participant is Amit Kumar Srivastava.
Yes, sir. Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Have you your PPT?
Yes, sir. Yes, I have.
Please share.
Okay, sir. I share it.
I think this is the last participant, or anyone have to present.
Sir, good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I am Amit Kumar Srivastava. I am presenting my paper. My topic is a study on electronic payment system. An electronic payment system is a very vast field in this era, because we have in the pandemic, we have done everything by the online transactions. There is a big platform of the UPI apps and other apps by which we can make the payment to anyone in the commercial sectors and in business and other sectors also. And I know we know that any transaction where we was dealing with the cash in the pandemic. That is not possible. So the digital payment system and the electronic payment system is little bit same. The device is used to payment, and my objective is to explore the various mode of the digital payment transaction that is offered by the financial institutions, and extent of the operation of the digital payment while dealing with the online transactions, and the suitable suggestion handling digital payments as easy and convenient for the customers and any payers. The methodology of this study is secondary data. On the basis of secondary data, books, journals, and newspapers relevant. So my next slide. Sorry. Types of digital payment: credit card, debit card, fleet card, charge card, gift card, stored card, smart card. These are the payments. These are the cards which is used for the electronic payment system. And digital wallets, point of sale, we can use at the shops and the petrol tankies. Mobile banking is also there. USSD is also employed in this electronic transactions. Aadhaar inbuilt payment system is also doing in this era. People can send their money, receive their money anywhere in the India or any other country on the basis of Aadhaar and mobile numbers. The internet banking is also facilitated for us, like we have to pay any payments on hotels and other institutions. We can pay easily shoppings, and we can transfer our money, NEFTs, RTGS, IMPS, SECS, and so other things which can be done by the electronic payments. And the electronic payments is now is globalized, and the growth of the banking sector is very much depend on the electronic and digital payment systems, because it's a very vast and very clear to give the taxes from the people, because if there will be no cash currency, no one can hide their income, hide their payment system, or hide their any income from the government, and the government will be take their income taxes and earn so money for our development. This is the conclusion of my topic.
Thank you, Amit Kumar Srivastava. Sir, any questions, sir?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I think participants have already shared their view. No one want to present their paper. So shall we wind up the technical session, sir? Dr. Ashish Gupta, sir, and Dr. Indiran Sahu, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, respected all the dignitaries of DICE and our controller of examination, Dr. Ashish Gupta, sir, our faculty members, and different participants from the other countries who have presented their paper. So the presentation is now is finished. So we should end the international conference now. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving a valuable time here and patience. Thank you all.